What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Attack the Talk. This is our OVA. Can you believe it? Number 8. Number 8. OVA? The last one you weren't a part of, it was with my cousins over in Henderson.
So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, so you probably...
Were they on 6?
We'd have to go back and look. I don't know. But this is OVA number 8. And we know for sure who's here, and that is our friend. That is the brains of the podcast. That is the man in the chair, as people like to go ahead and say. And yeah, that is our friend Nate. This is NatePlaysBad, everybody. You finally get to see him. We go ahead and we shout out Nate every episode because Nate does so much. And hey, it's our favorite Jaegerist. It's Heises, Jacob. And you know what? Here? I don't know if you saw. Did you see what Jacob was posting over on Instagram? Okay, I'm gonna show you real quick. Okay, I'm gonna show you. All right. Hey, Eddie's here too. What's up, Eddie? Eddie, so what's up, Nate?
Hi, Eddie.
We're gonna go ahead and get to Nate, of course. But I just want to show something real quick to Zach because this is perfect. Because Heise, I told you, man. I knew it. You know what? I knew that you were gonna like it. And
just send it to me.
Don't send
just
it.
Read that.
There
read
you go.
There we go, baby. Here we go.
Yeah.
Die.
And you see that we both actually told Heise to go ahead and watch My Hero Academia because he said he doesn't know if that was something he was gonna like because of the fan base, right? Yeah, and
then he finally watched it. There we go, baby. There we go.
His guy. And yeah, so. Super excited for you, Jacob, and keep watching, man. You said you just finished season 1.
Dude. It only gets better. Have you seen
My Hero?
Are you caught up, or did you see a little bit?
Have you seen some?
I've seen a good amount of it. I don't know how much of the new stuff.
What was the last thing? Don't without like spoiling.
Yeah, we don't have to spoil it all.
I don't know. Okay, so like when I watched it up to whenever I watched it, I finished it, and then. I think I'm probably a season or 2 behind, depending on how many seasons there are. Yeah, and
I'm behind.
I know there are multiple movies. I think I just randomly picked a movie and started watching one.
Yeah,
and I honestly couldn't tell if I
should have
watched it in the right order or not. Yeah, I'm like, am I a movie ahead or not?
Yeah.
Or I can't even
did you watch the one where they
have
like,
an island
spies, or was it the one where
It was more of like they went to like a
they went to like an island,
an island facility.
So you watched the second movie.
Okay, I watched the second one.
Okay, so then you really
not watching them in the right order.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
But the thing is, do you really have to watch those movies in the right order?
They're independent stories. They're like it's like any normal like anime movie.
Kind of felt that way.
It's non-canonical. It's just its own separate side story.
Yeah.
I felt that way, and I was very confused because I'm like, I don't remember where I left off, and I just kind of started, and I couldn't tell. I guess it's made to be that way because it's a standalone. But I still have not caught up just because I think watching that movie made me more confused because I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Like if
it messed with your mind a little bit.
Destroy the movie in your memory bank, drag it over the recycle bin, delete it, and just pick up where you left.
But the thing is, does Nate even know where to pick up from?
I don't.
That's the thing.
I'm gonna have to do the fun
that
thing.
can be tough.
You know, I'm sure Nate's a smart kid. I'm sure that if Nate...
well, we know Nate's smart, obviously, because look where we're at right now with the pod.
But I feel like if Nate saw the... Because you know how anytime you're on Crunchyroll, it gives you the little still image?
Yeah.
If he saw the still image, he'd be like, okay, I vaguely remember
So just go through every still image, every still of the episode to be like, let's see.
You can just scroll down the list.
Usually I just randomly am like... Like if it's something big, I'll go halfway through and I'll watch 5 minutes. And if I don't know anything, then I'm like, go further that way or go further that way.
Yeah.
And then eventually I get to a point where it's like, I vaguely remember everything and I just watch from there because it still means like, I'll pick up.
You'll pick up. Yeah. Yeah, well, awesome. Well, obviously, Heise, we're super happy for you, man, to go ahead and be watching this. Heise has given us his top 3. This is awesome. This is a cool little conversation here because we can talk about who we like as characters. I'm sure you guys know who mine is, but my favorite. But I can go ahead and give a top 3. But
Nate, do you know?
I'm like the worst.
I'll give you a hint.
I don't know names.
Yeah, it's okay. You can go ahead and even describe if you want. But I mean,
know who Deku is.
Yeah, there you go.
I got that one.
Heise is saying that his top 3, obviously, number 1 is Bakugo. And you know what? Honestly, that's not a surprise, knowing who Jacob likes. I mean, he likes, obviously, Eren Yeager.
He's a freaking Jaegerist.
Yeah, he's a Jaegerist.
Like Bakugo is the closest thing to a Jaegerist you get in My Hero.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got a good group of characters here because second is Todoroki, and Todoroki is badass too. So fire and ice.
Hot and cold.
Yeah, hot and cold.
Yeah.
And then, as you mentioned, you know Deku. I mean, everybody knows Deku, and that's his third. And Deku is an awesome character.
I did not like Deku until like not this last season, but the one before it.
Yeah, but Jacob liked Deku from the start, as at least to the point where it's top
Yeah,
3.
all it
Little
does is
crybaby.
cry.
Yeah. So, but all right. So I want to start with you, Zach. Do you have a top 3 of characters that you like?
I feel like we've done this, but number 1. Son of a bitch.
We've done this before, but you.
I feel like it's
It changes.
changed over
Okay.
time.
So that's perfect.
Because
This is a perfect.
since the last time we did it, I read the manga.
Okay, so the perfect time to ask then, since it's changed.
So I think I'll start number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3, I think, is probably Bakugo.
Oh, so number 3 is Bakugo. Okay, I will say though that Bakugo is a lot of people's favorite because Bakugo is just one of those characters, or for whatever reason, and there's a lot of reasons, but he catches your eye really early on, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, he starts off as kind of like this bully, but then you realize this dude's an onion.
Deeper.
He's literally an onion. Yeah. So there's so much
Yeah.
layers
He's
to
like an
him.
ogre. Ogres
You know,
have layers.
yeah. This dude is just literally a fire ogre, and I mean, this is what it is. He's an angry fire ogre.
Angry
Yeah.
fire ogre.
So that's number 3.
But the thing is, like, number 3 in My Hero is still a huge, because there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still like a huge thing.
It's an accomplishment.
I think my number 2.
The suspense is killing me.
I'm fighting between 1 and 2 right now. I think
Okay.
it's probably
It's that
Hawks.
close?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
that close.
Okay.
It's that close for me. I think it's Hawks.
Okay, Hawks.
I want to. Who do you think my number 1 is?
Okay. Number 1 is a character that.
He's been one of my favorites since the first season.
Okay. Well, you know now there's a character that's near and dear to my heart that I would love to see you as.
Yes.
Which is who I would hope that would be number 1, but it's not.
He's top 5.
Okay. So, but yeah, Heist is saying that your favorite is Mineta. Is that right? The grape guy?
How do we How do we ban people on Twitch? No, the grape guy.
No. Okay, so I would probably say Todoroki. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Todoroki,
100%.
he's just, I mean, again, he's
It's the
he's
character.
so cool.
It's the character development for me.
And plus, he doesn't go ahead and act like he's cool. He's just like very serious
He's just so
and
like
stuff, you know, and
He's just so.
yeah. And, you know, Jacob, keep watching because there's so much to these characters, you know, and that's what's great about
So
this anime is that
my-
the character development.
My number 4 is Twice,
Okay.
and then my number 5 is Kirishima.
Okay.
It's an extra credit. I thought we were only going to 3.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
know.
just
He just had, that's how close it is?
That's how. But that's like I love all of them.
Okay.
And like, I'm sorry.
Fighting.
I love Deku, but
Yeah, Deku's not even in that top 5 range. Is it close or is he
He's like
kind of like
6.
6? Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he's the 6th man.
like I want to see
Gotcha.
I want to see what the rest of the manga has in
Yeah.
store, and then maybe he'll jump up a bit.
Gotcha. But I want to ask Nate now. Nate, do you have
Okay.
a favorite character? Can you think of a
I
top
have
3?
a 1 and 2.
Okay.
Trying to think
Honorable
about
mention,
a
maybe?
3.
It's Mentos.
Yeah.
Okay. This, I don't know. I only know one person's name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, aside
You
from
can just
Deku.
describe
Deku?
their quirk.
Yeah,
And we can
I literally just needed to pay more attention, and I just don't pick up.
I'm terrible with names too.
Fire Ice Guy.
Yeah,
Todoroki.
Todoroki
Yeah.
3.
Shoto.
He's
Yeah.
cool. Number 2, Frog Girl.
Oh, really?
Sue.
Froppy, right?
Sue- yeah.
Froppy.
Yeah.
Froppy's cool. And then number 1, I think, is All Might. I like him.
Ooh, okay, I was waiting to see if anyone was
I
gonna throw
am
All Might in
here.
there.
I like him.
Yeah, All Might is
cool.
badass, and to be honest, so my list is Shigaraki, right? No,
Yes.
Shigaraki
Yes.
by far number 1, right? But then
Yeah.
I like for whatever reason I like the villains a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what that says about me. Maybe it's because they're so much different than what I am, obviously, right? Because we talked about it last podcast about how, like,
Yeah.
with me, what'd you say? You're like describing when we're talking about me being those Mississippi girls. You're like, you described me as like, damn, like pretty much
What
mannerly
else?
or whatever and stuff. You said a word, but anyway, so it's so different. It's so different, right?
Yeah.
And it's like gentleman or something, but another word for gentleman.
Yeah.
Oh, chivalrous.
Yeah,
Oh,
chivalry. Yeah.
Chivalry.
Chivalry
Yeah.
isn't dead.
Yeah, and so obviously these characters that I'm naming don't have chivalry. They're just like, you
Yeah.
know, whatever. The world is out against them, so they have, you know, whatever sort of motives. But Shigaraki number 1, number 2 is Overhaul, who I don't think you've got to yet, Jacob. So keep watching.
Yeah, Jacob,
Overhaul is really, really cool.
For sure.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
it.
Overhaul is an awesome character.
Overall, it's top 10 for me. I think take away the airy shit.
Yeah,
I feel like just because he's very mafia vibes,
yeah.
like very like Italian gangster vibes, he's is chivalrous, just not when it
Is that a reference to you?
That's a reference
We're here,
to
right?
me.
It's the basil plant killer.
Plant killer. Yeah, I guess I can give the smallest rundown.
Yeah, can you
I don't even
explain
know
what this is?
So I took
Shout out
pictures
Venomous.
of you remember how I did the garden before I left?
Yeah.
While I was gone, the basil plant that I grew was like, when I came back, was like 6 feet tall and was like giant and growing up. And then I took pictures and sent it, and that's Low. They go by Low. And
Okay.
Low really liked the basil plant and demanded that I take pictures when I came back. And the next time I came back, it was completely dead.
No. You go from 6 feet to dead?
Yeah.
Damn.
No, but I remember that thing getting absolutely out of hand, too.
Yeah, it was giant.
Okay,
So
look,
you
it
have
was-
been
you're talking
designated
about
the plant killer now?
You're talking
Yeah.
about the planter that was right underneath the living room window, right?
Yeah. That was my
Dude,
basil plant.
It got to the point where that fucking basil plant was growing up. Now look, it's like a good.
I'm saying it was at least 6 feet. Like, it was.
But like, there's like this much room
Really?
between the top of the planter and the base of the window. Like literally, like the perfect is like my camera size.
Yeah.
Like perfect, like a good 2 feet, and that plant is covering the window and everything. And we'd open the window. And we couldn't see shit. So I remember my parents.
You guys literally
were
couldn't
like,
see out the window?
Our mom got so sick of it. One day she was just like, I'm getting rid of the planter. And I was
Oh.
like, me being me, I was just like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that Nate had someone who loved that basil plant so damn
I guess
much.
I
So
thought
your
it
mom
died.
was a real basil plant killer.
Yeah, my mom is
Yeah.
the true basil plant killer.
Oh, okay.
I was so confused.
She didn't even use it. That's what pissed me off.
Interesting.
She didn't even use
It was
the
a
basil.
giant basil plant. There was so much there.
I know, but she didn't use any of it. She just tossed
Yeah,
it.
I don't know.
She could've
Interesting.
saved it.
I grew it because it was fun, but I figured somebody would have used all that basil.
Shuddy Santy loved it too. There
Yeah,
we
that's
go.
my friend
People
John.
love the basil plant. Too bad it's dead.
Rest in peace.
Any chance this basil plant makes a resurgence? No,
it's
it's just
not
dead
gonna die.
forever.
I say no one understands. No one will ever understand why it's just. I think it's because All Might's backstory is, he was in the U.S. for a long time. Like, and they bring that up later in the story. Like, it's not even in the anime; it's in the manga. But they bring up that he was in.
I think it was
the US.
also in one
It
of
was
those
in the
movies
it was
too
in
that
the
they had.
first
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
It was in the first movie that All Might, most of All Might's career was in the U.S. So
Yeah. But to go to that same kind of topic of All Might, All Might is my number 3 because All Might is the reason why I was so excited to keep watching after season 1 because of how that ended and the whole climax of it, that scene and everything,
the
right?
Nomu?
And yeah, just seeing All Might go to that plus ultra kind of state, right? Knowing what we know about him and his kind of unfortunate,
yeah,
what's happening to him, his condition and stuff, but to go ahead and see a
hole that was in
character,
his fucking
well,
stomach.
to see a character go ahead and push themselves to a certain limit to save, students and everything, right? Like, it's cool, and that whole fight sequence and everything. Just I watch it dubbed, so you guys can, anybody watch this sub, I'm sure it's great too. But hearing one of the goats, Chris Sabat, just belting out those incredible lines with such fire, like it just got me so excited.
I feel like Chris Sabat's All Might lines are equivalent to Sean Schemmel's Goku.
Yeah. I mean,
Like without a doubt. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like those two, like Sean Schemmel has Goku, Chris Sabat has All Might. Though
Yeah,
everyone
well-
knows him for
Vegeta
Vegeta and Piccolo, but
Yeah, but then when you hear All Might and then you
All
hear
Might, that's like his.
it's all about
Limelight.
the delivery, right? So that's my top 3. I very quickly, I think Heisei mentioned something a little bit earlier too about Bakugo blown away by Todoroki. I mean, who was not blown away by Todoroki? I mean,
Oh yeah.
how can you imagine? Especially when you're Bakugo, you have somebody
you ain't seen nothing yet.
like Bakugo has like kind of like fire, but it's based. Obviously his quirk is more to that. But when you see somebody who's kind of like known for something, and you meet somebody who's has that and more, literally like that, and what the opposite of it is, of course he's gonna get blown away.
He
Of
literally
course.
has the same weapon and the counter.
Yeah. But I say, AJ, you ready to scratch yourself, Shigaraki? Dude, I'm so ready. You have no idea. I'm literally like just
He's
like
looking
I'm
like-
itching at the opportunity to go ahead and just do something, man. But awesome. So I do want to go ahead and kind of now get to the reason why Nate is here. Nate, do you want to tell us why you're actually in town?
Why are you?
Why are you
here?
in town?
Oh.
What are you doing here?
Is there something maybe you're celebrating or something?
Oh yeah,
or,
wedding. So
Okay, celebrating a
Family's
wedding.
getting married, so I'm here for
Okay.
a wedding.
Not the reason we were expecting.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but I mean,
yes,
again, you
yes,
talk
we
about
did have a wedding.
chivalry, you know, and all that, and it's fine. So that's awesome, you know.
Yeah.
Weddings are always nice.
Is there any
Yeah.
other reason?
I have
but-
family out here, so like.
Yeah, he's got family out here, you know, and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, you know, and obviously we're excited too that Nate is here, you know.
Yeah.
He's
obviously.
here strictly
We've
for
been-
the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's here for the podcast.
podcast,
But
you know.
I heard something else though. Do you want to go ahead and maybe enlighten, you know, all of us?
Oh yeah,
listening
Vegas. You
and-
know.
yeah,
we're going to
Vegas.
Yeah, we're going
Yeah,
to Vegas.
But what's happening in Vegas? Was there you guys celebrating something in Vegas? I don't know. Is there something? Is there an
Something
occasion?
going on in
What is
Vegas?
July 1st?
First day of July.
First day of July.
I don't know what day it is though. That's my birthday though.
Hey, there it is. That's where we're fishing at. Okay, yeah. So Nate's in town. He's in town for many reasons, but obviously he's got a birthday that's he's gonna
I
celebrate.
do have a birthday.
So yeah, we want to obviously wish Nate a happy early birthday. By the time this episode drops, maybe it'll hopefully see when July 1st falls on.
Saturday.
Oh,
It'll
okay,
definitely
so-
be my birthday by the time this.
It'll be your birthday eve when this episode drops.
Birthday eve.
So happy birthday eve. Hi sis, happy early birthday, my man. Awesome, and we're so
Are you
happy
doing
to have
mental
you.
math in your head.
I thought this was next week.
This is next. I think this is next week.
Oh, maybe it is. Maybe we drop a twofer. This is a bonus
Twofer,
episode. I don't know.
bonus.
No, we can go ahead and do next week. Obviously, it's all up to.
Quadruple for.
It's all up to.
Sorry, my
to
brain's not working.
Nate.
That's why I'm not on that side of the. I'm fake.
No, you're onto something though, because
You're on something.
I am here. no.
That's true.
No, because I'm sorry. The online
here.
stuff. No, because we did do an episode on
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So you will well be, you know, after your birthday, which means you are going to be turning.
Still hungover.
Yeah, you're still going to be hungover. But
Oh yeah.
How old are you turning, baby, bro?
is it a big one? It's a big one, right?
Anyone.
Pretty
It's
big
a pretty
one.
big one. Yeah,
It's a pretty big
It's a
birthday.
milestone, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
His soul is
Yeah.
mine. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
What is that? Is
I'm
that
sure
the
you guys can
rules?
go ahead and put the pieces together that, you know, he's going to be very hungover and his soul belongs to Zach. So you guys can go ahead and decide on what milestone that is.
You doing Roman
But,
numerals? 6?
No, not.
He's 6 years old, guys.
21.
21!
21.
There it is.
Got it.
Yeah, the
Trades.
big
We
2-1.
got 21, baby. 21.
And it's an awesome milestone, and
Yeah.
we hope that you have a great time in Vegas. I'm sure you're going to remember every single
Every
bit of it.
second.
Oh, hell
and
no.
it's all downhill from here, unfortunately. So
So we still got a little bit longer. We're fine. Got some more
My
time.
No.
goal is to make sure he doesn't remember anything.
really,
from the
all
weekend.
right,
All
very
of
very
that?
cool.
Well, I'd like to remember a little bit, maybe.
I think you remember the beginning of it.
He'll remember showing up and he'll remember leaving.
Okay, I like it.
We're supposed to go watch Spider-Man. He'll remember Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
He hasn't seen it yet.
okay.
I
I
haven't
know
seen
you
the
know that I've been
Spider-Man.
obsessed with that movie.
The new
Yeah,
Spider-Verse, yeah.
yeah.
I love it.
I mean,
They delayed Beyond the Spider-Verse.
You know what's crazy is that actually one of the developers or whatever, or somebody affiliated with working on the movie, pretty much mentioned that the date that they give you isn't going to be when it's released. He says, unfortunately, that's just way too early, and
Yeah.
you know they push back movies all the time.
You know how much they delayed it by?
5 months, longer. Oh wow,
3 fucking years.
really?
Apparently-
What? 3 years?
Yeah.
Apparently, what happened.
Is it
and
the
I
strike?
guess this is no. What happened is
No.
they announced it and gave a date before they even started a production on the.
Oh, really?
thing.
On the trilogy
It
one?
was just written. Like they
Wow.
had it written,
Yeah.
but they didn't have.
They didn't start any animation.
Animating takes a long time.
Well, I would
And so
imagine,
I think
too,
they
that
probably
movie-
scheduled out the hours for the animators, and the animators said, "A, that's too many hours, and B, even if we did those hours, that's
We
not
still
possible."
wouldn't have it done.
Yeah. I mean, that
Yeah.
makes me think of like the
Because how long ago
animators for Mappa, right? Like,
Yes.
they literally were just
Yeah.
working to the
I
point
was
where they were
extremely confused.
deprived of sleep.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
you see what the main guy looks like. I don't know what this specific title is, but the guy's freaking bags under his eyes are so heavy, dude. It's crazy. Feel bad
Yeah.
for that guy, but I mean, obviously,
So-
Mappa's doing their thing.
Well, that is not right.
That's not right.
It said Into the Spider-Verse came out in 2002.
Really?
It did not.
Wow, time flies, huh? Wow. But Isa says 22 here, not a big drinker at all, but
2018.
have a great time, Nate.
Thank you.
Yeah. I myself am not a drinker anymore.
I don't think you are.
No, not really. I
Yeah.
don't.
We'll change that.
Out here
not
looking like a
worth it.
puffer fish.
pufferfish. Is that what they call them now?
Interesting. I don't know. What reference is that to, Eddie? You're gonna have to explain yourself.
I don't get it.
About being a pufferfish.
Google was wrong. It's 2018. So it took them basically 4.5.
Oh,
5 years.
pufferfish. I got you. Talking about the developer from Appa.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Like
See?
the dude from
Took a little while, but I got
dude
it.
from Shark Tales
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
You haven't seen Shark Tales?
with
No.
Will Smith.
That might have been like when you get to kind of that bridge of like when you're kind of past the age of like getting excited for those movies.
It's just a really bad movie that everyone likes.
So bad,
Really?
but it's
Yeah.
good because it's bad.
It's very bad.
You have homework now.
I'm not watching.
Yes, it's so
No.
good.
No.
AJ, it's so good.
I'm not watching. What is it called? Shark Tales? What is
Shark
it?
Tales.
Shark
Oh.
Tales.
I
Yeah.
don't want to watch that, dude. Nobody likes Will
I feel
Smith
like if I
anymore.
This was before, okay? This was before the keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Yeah, that's the famous
Oh, wow.
line. Yeah. Wow. Eddie's never seen it either.
Eddie,
there
now
we
you
go.
got homework too.
No.
Lenny,
Oh.
Dolphin.
Back to the topic of My Hero Heist says I kind of like Eraserhead. Hated him at first, but at the end of season 1, he's
I
cool.
love Eraserhead.
Yeah.
Eraserhead's like 7.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a character where like if I went into audition for Shigaraki and they're like, no, but audition for a different character,
I
and they're
could
like,
definitely
maybe.
see you as
But I don't think I'm old enough though, because he's very experienced,
But
right?
but you're equally as tired.
That's true. And
Imagine being on set in a sleeping bag
yeah.
and just
But also think about all those scenes I'm gonna have to do where it requires no blinking.
you just edit it.
What if they're like, look, dude, we're not editing you when you're blinking. Like you're gonna have to
Then
just
just-
literally.
That's the one thing-
Suck it up, bro.
The one thing keeping you from one of your dream roles would be, man, you need to not blink for a minute.
the amount of times I
can't
blink
do it.
just by sheer
I
fear.
can't.
Let's someone give me a 60 count.
I'm not gonna go ahead and do this right now.
What happens if people are listening audio wise?
Yeah.
It's just gonna be
dead
it's just
air.
gonna be 60 seconds of counting while you
Yeah, it's gonna be
say
just
nothing.
60 seconds of just like.
I'm not counting
mommy-
I'll
this.
look in the fan too.
We're not counting.
Oh,
You're
Zach's auditioning for Aizawa right now. Oh, he blinked. I think
Blinked.
you're around like
I blinked
52
again.
seconds.
You
so you
blinked
gotta do it again. Yeah, you're gonna have to do it
I got
again.
18 in
you
my
blinked
head.
again.
Okay, you're a slow counter.
I could do it. I feel like I could beat anybody in a staring contest.
Yeah, I like it. No, Eraserhead's cool. Eraserhead's
Yes,
very
it is
cool.
a fire character.
He blinked again. I'm
you
gonna just keep track of all
Just
the
like
blinks.
not blink the rest of the
Can you not?
podcast.
I can try.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like just don't do it.
Thank
Okay,
I don't want to do
we'd
this
appreciate that.
you. It was a blink.
I didn't blink.
Okay. Audio listeners, he blinked, by the way.
Yeah, he's blinking a lot. Oh my
Okay,
God.
well, it doesn't work to the audio listeners if you look into
You're gonna have to talk too, dude.
Now
Come
they're
on.
gonna have to. No, now they're gonna have to go on
You
YouTube.
take one or the other.
I blinked.
You blinked.
All right. So something we kind of talked about Sunday's podcast towards the end of it actually, and I wanted to ask Nate if something that he saw, and this was a trailer that got released, right? Now, did you by
Really?
chance see the teaser trailer of the live-action One Piece adaptation for Netflix?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I was forced to watch it.
okay, so we're off to a great start already. So you were forced to watch it, and I was going to
Yeah.
ask your thoughts on this because one thing we kind of talked about, I can still see the fuzzy thing in your water.
I know.
But, yeah, one thing we talked about is how we three of us have
There's another one.
an affinity, I guess maybe is a word, but we enjoy One Piece.
Yeah.
Right? And we have invested a lot of time into One Piece. So when we find out that there is this live action adaptation, I can't help but think that, we'd be excited about it.
Yeah.
And until this trailer came out. And some of us maybe are still excited about it. I know we talked about glimmers of hope, right?
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, Nate, do you have any glimmers of hope?
I never
What
had
do you
hope.
think? You never had hope. Okay. Don't have hope because then you won't get disappointed, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I already felt like Cowboy Bebop was going to be bad when they announced that they were doing it.
Yeah.
And then the general consensus is that it's not good.
Yeah.
And One Piece is so long. And I think they're trying to condense like all the way up to like the Grand Line
Yep.
into
Yeah.
like what?
8 episodes.
8 episodes?
Yeah.
You're skipping so
Basically,
much. Also,
Laboon and that's it.
for me, the worst thing is like, okay, Usopp just looks like a normal dude,
Yep.
which is which is weird. Usopp has big nose. Look up Usopp cosplays. There are really good ones. They have big noses. Sanji's just an old guy. He doesn't even look. I don't know why Sanji's so old. They have such an old
Maybe just 'cause he's
actor
a smoker.
playing Sanji. I guess.
Avid smoker.
He just.
But yeah, he's.
He looks so much older than what I envision him. Zoro looks alright.
Yeah.
I think like if I saw it as a cosplay, I wouldn't think that's bad. I think if it's like, this is the high budget show that is it, I'm like, okay, this doesn't. I've seen better cosplays, but okay.
You talk about budget now. Something you mentioned.
Do you know how much the budget is?
No.
Per episode.
Now, do you know what the average budget of a Game of Thrones episode was?
Well, like 2 million or something. What was it? What was the budget for?
Like 15.
15 million.
So think of 15 million an episode, and think about how big Game of Thrones is, and think about how the fandom of Game of Thrones really quickly became so massive, right? Now, what number are we looking at for per episode? These 8 episodes of One Piece.
18 million.
18 million.
18 million? Why does it look so bad?
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is that like there's certain details in it where I'm like, they're showing certain things, right? I can't help but think about that one scene where we see Luffy and he's getting ready to go ahead and do his gum pistol, right?
Yeah.
Why does the background why is it black? Now, why does it end right on like when he's about to go ahead and make contact?
Yeah.
Like, it makes me think it's a tease, I get it, but why does it look bad?
Well, because this is what I heard too. When they were choosing what was going to be in the trailer, this was probably filmed like a year and a half ago. And it isn't the final product.
Well,
No, look, I think I'm just so used to Netflix letting me down that I'm just like...
it sounds like somebody's got some hope.
No. I think I've just lowered my
Which
standards.
leads to, you know,
Disappointment.
disappointment.
But I think it's
that's
just
fine.
Yeah.
I think I just let my standards down when it comes to Netflix adaptations.
Yeah.
Like I'm now accepting it for what it is instead of what it should and could be.
Yeah. Which is so weird because I'm so adamant on trying to join a Netflix live action adaptation, right?
Uh-huh.
But
I'll still join it, the hell?
but I mean, yeah, so watching this trailer, I mean, I just
You know what's funny is I
tough.
watched do you know who the Twitch streamer Speed is?
yeah.
You know Speed, right?
Yeah.
I was watching Speed's reaction to it, and he sees Luffy. He's like, I love it. And then he hears Luffy go, I'm going to be the Pirate King. And he goes, nope. Nope. Did not deliver that line. And I was like, yeah, I agree.
Well, I kind of told you on Sunday, like, for whatever reason, you know, he kind of just like, we talked about, you know, just kind of the delivery of lines.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I get it. He's trying to be very naive and everything, right? And very hopeful. But it kind of annoyed me. But I did see that trailer that you had mentioned about the cast seeing the teaser.
Oh, the cast watching the teaser for the first time.
And seeing the actor Iñaki go out there and actually, you know,
get emotional.
start crying.
He started like getting super emotional.
And it was cool to see, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, it's cool he's getting emotional, but I don't know if that's going to necessarily lead to like proper execution.
Oh, also,
I don't know.
CGI looked awful.
Yeah.
The serpent from the...
Hey, I liked the CB.
I didn't at all.
I
It
liked
looked like
the
Spy Kids. I'm like, Spy Kids would have made a serpent that looks just like that. I'm like, God.
I think it looks better than Spy Kids. Okay.
It's not 18 million an episode CGI.
You gotta admit that.
Even Luffy's arm looked so weird.
Yeah.
Like I get
Just think about-
it's rubbery, but like if you actually watch the scene and like look at his arm, it's so...
Yeah, it's
weirdly
really
done.
weird. But also, just think about, we're talking about Game of Thrones here. Like, if you see a Game of Thrones dragon, like, you're like, oh shit,
yeah.
that thing looks like
That's true.
crazy looking,
That
you know?
looks super cool, and then this, I get it. It didn't look wet. It looked like it was made out of. It looked like a balloon
mucus.
animal almost, like weird rubbery, plasticky, not
Now
like
I
a
wanna
wet serpent.
Yeah, go ahead and rewatch it. Maybe your opinion
You're
will
gonna
change
look
on
up the
it.
serpent, and you're gonna be
But,
like, okay, maybe that's not 18 million an episode budget.
Yeah, it's just
I've
one of those things where I don't know how it's just, I'm trying to be hopeful of it. I'm just trying to enjoy it for what it is by just being a product of just separate from the anime, you know, and I know that they're going to rush everything.
Yeah.
They're doing, if you look over on YouTube now, the cast is doing kind of like, you know, they're doing interviews, they're doing like press stuff, you know, and they had the cast all together and they're talking about how long they wanted to run. And the old man Sanji went over and he kind of talked about how he doesn't want it to go ahead and run too long. He goes, I don't want it to run long. I just want it to end to where we all feel content.
Yeah.
And it made me think like, fuck this dude, like, I don't want it to go ahead and run that long. Do you understand what you signed up for?
It's One Piece.
Like,
it's One Piece.
This literally, we're talking about over 1,000 episodes, and you don't want to go ahead and be Sanji for too long?
Yeah.
And the cast all agreed, and they're like, yeah, that's a great answer. It's a great answer. Like, hell no. I'd be like, you know what, dude? I understand that One Piece, like, I'm in it for the long haul. I'll be this character. This could be the only role that I ever am. Like, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate myself to being that character. I'm not, I just don't want it to go too long. I just want it to end where we all feel happy about what we did.
Yeah.
That sounds like low-key, like loser mentality a little bit. Like he knows it's gonna be a shit product.
Yeah,
and he's just
gonna want any more of it, and he's gonna be like, "I'm cool with that."
I'm just like, I want us as a cast to be happy with what we did. I'm like, bro, there's no way this thing goes longer than 2 seasons.
Yeah,
which is gonna be so upsetting. Can you imagine if we just get Chopper, and all of a sudden it ends?
We don't even get Frankie. I feel like the most they go is,
oh my gosh, they're gonna speed the hell out of Chopper and Frankie.
Wouldn't get.
Robin better be fucking fine as hell too.
The most we get is Water 7.
You even think we're gonna get to that? I think it's Alabasta and that's it.
Could be that.
Oh well, you have to. Maybe it ends at. Well, didn't they show that they're gonna do Skypiea?
I hope not. Honestly, if they're ever gonna skip,
that's the one. That's the one to skip. Like get through that one.
Yeah, skip Skypiea. That was the one where I had to force myself to keep watching, and I don't know. I didn't like Skypiea, dude.
You disagree? No. Did you love Skypiea?
I really loved it. I think because look, I understand getting into it is the hard part.
Yeah.
Getting into it and sticking through it.
Once you get up the waterfall, I feel like it's pretty.
But how many episodes is that? How many episodes is that though to get to that point?
It's like 100.
You have to get through 100 plus episodes.
That forest area.
That final forest area is cool.
Now we know that if they do get to that point, Netflix is just going to go ahead and dedicate maybe 2 episodes of it, right? Which is fine because then they're just going to speed through all of the. They're going to trim the fat.
Because Skypiea,
right?
I will admit, Skypiea is drawn out.
Yes.
Yeah. Both of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But I feel like this would be something that people would actually watch Skypiea because it's only like 2 or 3 episodes. This is Dragon Ball.
You think they would go ahead and watch it even if we get subpar, season 1 and 2?
Yeah, but one thing I wanted to bring up is
Robin.
One thing.
Yeah, let's talk about Robin.
One thing that I don't think that Netflix would be able to pull off anywhere near effectively.
Chopper. CGI Chopper.
Chopper. That's true.
If we see CGI fucking little rubbery
I'm talking
sea
about
dragon.
like long-term. Hockey.
Who?
Hockey.
Like the ability?
The ability,
like,
yeah.
The ability.
Are
okay.
you sure?
Okay.
Hockey.
You don't think
I
they'll
don't
be
think
able
Netflix
to
could pull it off.
No.
Give me any show that has like a key-based energy or like a life force-based energy that comes out well that isn't a movie.
Isn't a movie? That's a tricky one there.
That isn't a movie.
But I'm assuming each one of these episodes is going to be like 40 minutes. Like, I feel like
we agree that if these episodes gotta be like Black Mirror, like they gotta be over an hour.
You think each one's going to be over an hour?
Think about it, going to the Grand Line. Think about how much content that is alone.
Yeah, I just feel like they're just going to cut as much as they can.
Yeah, they're really going to speed through the introductions, and they're going to speed to get to a point where, like,
I wouldn't be surprised. If it starts with like the main crew and then they just do like a flashback. To,
I hope they don't do that. Are you kidding me?
First episode's all the main crew sailing, and then it'll be like, how did we get here? And then it'll be like, and then it'll be like, and now we're heading to the Grand Line. That's the end of episode 1.
And then it's gonna end season 1 the same way.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is bad writing. And I hope Oda doesn't approve
because you have to realize
that.
Oda is a part of it.
Yes.
Oda
and you got to think Netflix is probably paying Oda a shit ton of money.
Why do you think he's taking a hiatus to get his eye surgery?
So that's why it's just it's one of those things where
Oda's a part of it. Oda would not
product,
let Netflix fucking do a memory flashback of it. Like that's why I'm saying, like, if Oda's a part of it, I feel like
you say that, but also like one of the biggest recurring themes in One Piece is like so many flashbacks within flashbacks.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. You might be down for a flashback.
I feel like that's more fairy tale. Flashbacks within flashbacks.
Well, maybe not flashbacks within
I feel like-
flashbacks, but
Okay, with your part that you're on in Wano,
This is
I know
fat
you
flashback,
feel like
dude.
it's flashback central.
Yeah.
yeah. Every like 2
But
episodes
The
is
way
a
I
new
see it is-
character.
Well, your part in Wano is
I
more
remember.
like- your part in Wano is more like story building.
Yeah. And I will say that Wano will never see the light in Netflix live adaptation.
Oh,
I'd be
never.
surprised
Oh,
if they
no.
ever even get to Wano.
Never.
Which is too bad because Wano has so many awesome moments.
Wano
if we do
is
get to Water
the-
7, dude, I'm going to be so happy but I'm also probably going to be so disappointed because my favorite moment in One Piece will be, adapted to live action, right?
Yeah.
And I want to see how they execute it.
You're talking about
You know?
Usopp versus Luffy?
No, I'm talking about when they're going to. No, well, not Water 7. It's when they go to to
Impel
save
Down?
Robin. Yeah, Impelled. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, my favorite
Is
moment
it
there,
Impel Down or
right?
It's Impel Down.
Impel Down. Yeah.
Enies Lobby, isn't it?
Enies Lobby.
Yeah, Enies Lobby. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Impel Down is the prison.
Yeah.
That's before the Great
Enies
War.
Lobby.
No, Enies Lobby.
Yeah.
With Rob
Yeah.
Lucci.
Yeah. So if we get to that moment there, then I'm gonna be very, very invested to see.
You know
what they
scene-
do.
You know what? One of
Yeah.
my favorite scenes in all of One Piece is, and it's like so underrated.
Is it in Skype here?
Hell no. It's when Usopp gets kidnapped by Frankie's crew, and Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Chopper in his man form, like beast man form, destroy the shit out of Frankie's hideout in Water 7. I don't know if you guys remember that scene.
Yeah.
Where basically, I think it's like Nami's like, oh, they took Usopp. And then all 4 of them are just like, Sanji puts a cigarette out, puts another one in for some reason.
Yeah.
And they just all march in there and absolutely destroy the place.
Interesting. Yeah. For whatever reason, I don't recall that moment, but it sounds pretty
So
cool.
underrated. So underrated.
But I don't know. I would just be surprised if this product is anything but good. Like it's one of those things where it's just like I think a lot of people are gonna watch it just for the sake of it, getting their One Piece fix, and just seeing how it looks. But
Shit, with Oda going on hiatus, I'm going to need that fix.
it's just one of those things where, man, it's hard to get excited about these live action adaptations, and seeing this teaser trailer
Yeah.
doesn't really get me excited.
Update you, by the way. I'm on 1086 of the manga.
Damn.
1086.
I'm on 962.
And in My Hero, I'm at 391.
Interesting.
Well, I'm in terms of the anime episodes, I'm still like 950, 60 something.
You're in Wano.
I'm in Wano.
Yeah.
You're getting into Act 3.
I'm like near the end of Act 2.
He's near where you are.
This talk about adaptations, one thing that and this is the only anime that I've actually I didn't really read the manga, but I went through people who went through it. There's maybe a 24-hour long compilation of this guy going through Berserk, specifically the manga, and following the manga story. And there are 3 separate adaptations to Berserk. And let's say Berserk is a line from 1 to 100, just the timeline. Every adaptation's the beginning up to 30 out of the 100, and they're all different sections, but those are the only parts that it covers, and they change so much.
That's why the manga will always be.
Wow.
Because the manga, any adaptation of Berserk is considered non-canon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so bad. They've changed
Unless it's
the
the manga.
core aspects of it.
Really?
Yeah, specifically I understand for Berserk because Berserk is extremely dark.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, I don't even think you're allowed to put half of the stuff on TV or animated.
You can't.
But at the same time, it's I feel like it's probably will be a similar scope of One Piece where they'll probably just either retcon or just completely avoid things. So those should be oh yeah, in terms of the anime,
They
this
already
whole
have been
arc
doing
never
that.
I mean,
happens.
you can think
or
about
they'll
the-
be yeah, we'll just
Think about
figure them-
Sanji, because in this one, obviously Sanji's not going to be this kind of simp character.
Yeah.
What they do is they're going to have him just
should
be very suave.
Yeah.
Have him be,
He's
just
gonna be a
kinda, very
ladies' man.
flirty,
He's gonna be fucking
but-
Casanova.
Yeah. Which obviously that's not Sanji.
We're not gonna
you
get
know?
our Nami Suwan, Robin
Yeah.
Tuan.
But
That's what I want.
But yeah, I mean, so it's just so weird. I do want to say, you mentioned about Zoro's character, right?
Yeah.
I think his name is McKennu, but he has been in a good, in terms of resume, he's been in many live action adaptations of anime.
Now, I think because
I think of all the cast that I saw, I'm the least worried about him. I also think just like Zoro's character in general is kind of like one that's hard to mess up. It's like, for what it is, it's not extremely fleshed out, and it doesn't get fleshed out till later. So it's not even like, of all the characters, he's the easiest one to manage an adaptation of. It's like, just make sure that he acts like how Zoro acts. You don't even need to like worry about the plot, because like the plot for the beginning, first few 100 episodes is he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He's trying to get stronger.
Yeah.
That's kind of like all you really need to know for like a long while.
You just kind of have to have, and I know something that you are excited about potentially trying to get into, but like that whole stunt training stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
And for him, the actor, he obviously has, we talked about just the different adaptations he's been in, and he has that in his resume.
What I was gonna say, like,
you know,
I feel like
good fight
now
scenes.
what always makes or breaks just any piece of cinema for me that's like, I guess, like shonen or comic or like just like hero-esque is fight choreography. If the fight choreography is terrible, I won't watch it. I did that with what was the thing on Disney Plus with Hawkeye and the girl.
Oh yeah. That's I think that might be what it's called, Hawkeye and the Girl.
And the girl.
Yeah. No, it's like
What was it?
Hawkeye.
what's her name? It's Kate Bishop.
Yes.
Hawkeye and
I don't
that's
care.
how memorable it was.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But like, I remember I watched 2 episodes. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I watched 2 episodes. I couldn't even finish the second episode because like this fight choreo was so shit.
Yeah.
And it makes me mad.
But from what you see from the teaser here in the One Piece one, do you like what you see with Zoro's character?
The one scene that we see with Zoro's character, I'm not awestruck, but I am like.
What people took away from that actually is that it shows a moment there. It's a fight sequence that we don't see, I guess, in the anime, right? Where it's him against Mr. Seven or something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess that's something that is only alluded to in the anime, but with the Netflix adaptation, they're actually going to go ahead and show that. And I think people are excited about that. But
Where is it?
yeah,
You're talking about.
but also too with fight sequences. I mean, everything is so like dramatized in anime, and how do you adapt that over in live action? You know, when you have so many crazy colors, explosions, so many. You know, this isn't a Michael Bay thing. You know, this is literally just like, how do you?
There's definitely right ways to do it. I think. I mean, it was super long ago, but the movie did it great. I think Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh yes,
amazing.
Yeah,
like as close as I've seen, honestly, to like live action.
That was about
anime stuff.
Edgar Wright, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I
don't know who was in charge of all the graphics, that side of things.
Yeah,
but those were all great.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know how I'm looking forward to seeing what Luffy's design's gonna be like, because his arm, when he stretched it out, just looks uncanny.
Yeah,
which
plus the uppercut that he does looks like it's just a shit uppercut. Yeah. Whoever that is, that's somebody from Zoro's past over in the anime, and we actually get to see him fight that character.
Yeah,
but
I will admit, this little scene right here, I did like it.
Nami?
No, not Nami.
Nami.
You're gonna have to explain it though.
Yeah.
For our
audio.
No, the scene where Zoro's fighting the enemy in the red.
Yeah. I want to say his name was like Mr. Seven or something.
Yeah.
Is it? Because that's Alabasta.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's just what I've been seeing online. People are excited about that because I was like, "What are people excited about in this?" Right? But I do want to ask. Okay, that was. You mean Scott Pilgrim's a great movie, but what do we think about first glimpse of Buggy?
I loved it. I personally loved it.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm looking at this from the perspective of Death Note live action ruined my taste. Cowboy Bebop ruined my taste. And I'm just kind of taking it as what it is. And it's supposed to be a very goofy, out there kind of design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they did a great job.
Yeah.
He looks very sinister, which is what Buggy always wants to go for. But I feel like they'll take that sinister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they'll flip it on its head and they'll make him the little goofy clown that he is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you haven't seen it now, but if you look at Buggy right now in the anime,
Buggy looks like a giant ass parachute.
but his face and the hair, it's super sinister. But then it's the thing, like he'll come off as super big and sinister and powerful, and then next fucking frame, next literal drawing, he's like a little goofy little.
Yeah, he's very insecure and all
But like,
that.
I feel like I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I feel like it was, and the thing that's the thing that like worries me. I think with him during that, and if you watch the trailer, you'll recognize it. That's like. That shot is so menacing where he's lit all like spooky, creepy face. And I think that's like intentionally uncanny. And you're kind of like, that's like a spooky little version of him. But like Luffy just punching also gives me that same type of feeling of like, this looks weird. And I'm worried like what happens during those scenes where he like puffs up. I don't want to see Balloon Luffy.
Gum balloon.
No, I don't want to see that. His CGI is going to look so gross and uncanny.
I think about the same thing.
We get water, Luffy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not looking forward to that.
Stomach.
He's just stretching his arm out normally. I'm like, what's going to happen when they have to puff him up? Is he going to look like the Willy Wonka girl CGI?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's what he's going to look like. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do want to get to Heisei here. Heisei, he says...
I know, I'm seeing a wall.
He brings up a good point here. He says, you want to know something funny? How do people that do animation and upload it on YouTube have a way better product than big corporations with massive budgets?
I'd say time constraints.
There's honestly a good mix between time constraints and also just working more individually, where you might have... Honestly, I'm curious to see like how many people worked on different scenes, how many people are in charge.
Because there's a team of like... for
YouTube stuff, yeah, it's a lot smaller. You'll probably have like for larger stuffs, common YouTube animations like Hell of a Boss, which is done by Vivzy Pop. Stuff
that
like
one's good.
Yeah, those shows have like 12 people usually.
Like Hotel.
Yeah, those both are done by Vivzy Pop.
Yeah. How long does it usually take for them to go ahead and create
about
content?
A month per 30 minutes of like content.
Oh wow.
But you have so like that's it looks really good, and that's because you have individual people who are knowing exactly what they want to do and are able to do that, and usually you're having people who are playing to their strong suits.
Yeah.
Versus for like larger companies like this, you're going to be having a mix of different people. Everyone's going to be doing their own thing. They're going to have to like imagine if you don't like this specific style, but you have the capacity to do that, and somebody asks you to do that. You're obviously going to make it to a lesser degree than if you like that style and that's your thing.
That's what I was thinking.
Put your time into
it may not be
passion goes a long way too.
Yeah.
Can and wanting to are like I can draw, but it doesn't mean I want to draw.
But when you're excited about doing something, there's just something about that where you know the product is going to come out exactly. Just like
you have to care about it.
The passion is going to show. You know.
Yeah, and and there's many reasons why. Yeah,
you have to realize, like, so for example, like in the anime, certain scenes are done by one person. Mm-hmm. That is their job.
Yeah.
To do this one, like for example, let me give you one that you both can understand. Like,
or one that I understand.
Because you've both seen Whole Cake. So let's just put it this way. Luffy versus Katakuri.
Yeah.
So Gear 4 Snake Man was done by one person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That one person is in charge of that whole, just Snake Man.
Yeah.
And whereas with the Netflix, you have like 5 people working on the same scene.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to do their own little tweaks to it.
Yeah.
It's like getting 5, instead of having one person.
It's also just a problem with mixed media in general because
there's just too many Sanjis in the kitchen kind of, right?
Think about it. The person who animated that serpent in the trailer, probably somebody on that same team who's used to animating a serpent. It's like, okay, you have to animate Luffy's stretched arm.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a whole different thing that you're going to have to learn.
It's a whole different physiology.
And that's something that somebody's going to have to like kind of learn on the spot. I don't think they're hiring a whole new team in the studio for based around like people who are good at doing this and that. You usually keep the same animators.
You have to dip into each little dish.
Yeah. So, and then what you're talking about before, I think a good example of having like dedicated animation teams done really well on anime is One Punch Man.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which that's what they did. They actually, the studio when making it, they were a small team and they hired people online to do individual scenes.
Oh wow!
People who would go
I'm
on
sure they
Twitter,
probably did a lot of research
Twitter,
too.
You remember like during Flash days, making like stick figure fight animations was huge.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those animators continued making those stuff and posting it on Twitter, and they like got into anime, so they were doing full on anime fight scenes just for themselves, posting on Twitter. And so the team behind One Punch Man got a bunch of different people, and they're like, "You're not working on the entire show. We are hiring you, and your
Focusing on
entire job
something
is just this one fight scene."
Kind of just playing to their strengths, you know?
And that's all it was. Versus like larger things, like I'm sure the Netflix team, they don't have a guy, and they're like, "This guy, I've seen him do stuff before. This guy is going to be the animator for Luffy."
I've got.
They just got like Joe does CGI, so we'll have him do.
I've got a little bit of
arm.
an example for you. So this is. Someone did a fan animation of just like.
Oh,
Lucci
okay,
versus
Luffy. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
It's not canon.
Not
it's
canon. This is just something
just
that.
someone did like, because we knew that Lucci and Luffy are gonna fight again in the manga. Like we've seen it. So before that even came out, before Oda released it, he kind of like did a fan animation of it.
Okay.
And like people post stuff like this, and now
Yeah.
switch over to Nate. People post stuff like this. And for example, One Punch Man's team was like, we want that person to do the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
And it
different-
matches their niche.
That's what a lot of smaller shows are able to do, where they're able to hire people specifically for that project, and bigger companies don't tend to do that. They either will hire from studios who are used to doing a project, and I think it's like you can only expect so much good stuff to come from it, because I don't think anybody's been blown away by the stuff that's come out of what is it, Death Note, or from Cowboy Bebop. And it's as far as I'm aware, it's probably the same studio, the same people who have worked on the other projects are going to be working on this. And sure, you can have growth and development, but at the same time, you're not going to get the same level as people who are dedicated for that specific thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not too hopeful for what the anime is going to turn out for the One Piece adaptation. I think it'll be fun to watch only because I'll be like, wow, this looks awful.
I feel like kind of like I said, like that's kind of the mindset I'm going is I'm like, I know it's an adaptation, I know it's live action, and I know one of the hardest things to animate into a live action or like do CGI is stretchy people.
Yeah.
That's like one of the most difficult things. Like I don't think anyone could name a single show or movie or anything where stretchiness was done well.
Yeah, I think maybe
Like
with,
I guess the
with
closest
real
thing
world
is like
CGI.
Fantastic Four.
Maybe.
But even then,
But
Marvel.
if that's the closest thing, then it goes to exactly your point.
Yeah,
you know?
but like Marvel, even Marvel, they didn't even try in WandaVision. Oh, oh,
That was a good one.
the
sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Oh,
Yeah.
but
Where you at, Dr. Pepper?
WandaVision, they didn't even try. They
Yeah.
just killed off.
They
what's
killed
that
off Krasinski.
name? Yeah, what's the character's name?
Professor Stretchy Man.
Are you talking about
From the Fantastic Four. What's the fucking dude? I freaking forget. But
Alaska
they didn't
Boy.
even try. They gave up. Like they literally just killed him.
Yeah.
They didn't even let him stretch. They literally turned him into string cheese.
Yeah. It was pretty gruesome though.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, but not because he was
Reed
stretchy.
Richards.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
Reed Richards. Yeah.
Got him.
Live action
Wanda got him,
Chainsaw
sure.
Man. Oh, that would
That
end
would
up
be-
so bad.
That would be
It would be great if done well, but I think it's gonna end up.
That's kind of like what you guys were talking about with Berserk, right? I think Heisey even saying this, so I shouldn't watch Berserk the anime.
No,
And,
don't watch Berserk anime.
Yeah.
Read the manga.
I would suggest reading the manga
It'll
because
save you time and it'll
I
save you
think-
heartbreak.
I think the Berserk anime would. It's just a different story. That's like it just changes
It's
so
like-
much because
yeah.
the point of Berserk is the like dark themes that it tries to touch on,
yeah.
and you can't get there if you don't actually treat it with the weight that the
It's supposed
creator put
to
on
be
it.
absolutely. It's supposed to be like the most mind grueling. Like it's supposed to mess with you. It's supposed to fuck with
Yeah.
your head, and you can't really get that across because some of that shit is not okay to be on live television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not, and it's like comparing the Berserk anime
Yeah.
to manga is like comparing Death Note live action to Death Note anime.
Yeah, and it's
Like they're two completely different stories.
I definitely think and there's that specific aspect which I said where they're obviously I genuinely think like the intention of the author is gone, but even from the story point of view, there are parts that there will be huge scenes. We're talking what would be the equivalent of if they did an actual adaptation, like 2 seasons worth of backstory, because how the timeline, they start a quarter of the way through, then the anime or the manga jumps back in time and puts important precedent. And the animes, none of the adaptations address that and kind of skip it, which is already bad. There's a huge arc where Berserk's one of Berserk's main companions has a major fight with him for a super long time, and it's supposed to be like a juxtaposition of positions, and every adaptation just skips that.
Yeah, because there's no backbone to your reasoning. There's no reasoning behind it. It's like, oh, well, now it's just, okay, cool, so he's fighting his friend, but you don't understand how detrimental that really is.
Yeah, and then there's just a lot of stuff where the characters' decisions lose the weight and meaning that they have, and they just kind of make it into a normal decision, where there's just so much that's built off of this. It's a super long running manga with very delicate things. So I guess this isn't a spoiler, or I guess you can skip a minute ahead if you're worried.
Yeah.
But Berserk has a love interest, and basically the start of the real anime, because I told you how it jumps back in time.
Yeah.
That back in time is his whole life up to the start of what you think of when you think of Berserk, this grown man. And it's so awful.
From point of birth.
Yeah, from point of birth.
Oh, wow.
And it's him finding love and actually accepting that he's grown as a person and is ready to start a life with a human.
That's the plan.
And that person gets completely violated. It becomes a completely different person. Their mind becomes broken, and he has to go on this quest basically to try to return to normalcy and get that back.
Yeah.
And every adaptation skips that, and it's like, oh, just kidding, nothing bad happened. So why is he doing this?
Understand the whole point of his journey.
You don't understand exactly the motivation behind a character. You don't understand the very specific details.
If you want to see some pretty cool gory, if you strictly just want to see some cool gory scenes, go watch the anime. But if you want a genuine story behind it, you need to read the manga.
I definitely think it's just, it'll probably be.
Oh, and don't watch the movies. The movies are shit.
It would be a mid anime or a really good read. That's what I think it is. I think it's just the story has so much more potential. That is. I've never cared about the manga for any other anime really. But for that, when I actually listened to the manga being explained to me for a super long time and got all the pictures and it kind of went page by page, I'm like, yeah. Because I'd be listening for 3 hours. And then the person explained to me, by the way, everything I talked about is skipped in every adaptation. Wow. There are 3 adaptations. None of them have covered this.
That's got to be such a kick in the balls, dude. How
have they not talked about this huge thing? It's
because I remember, this was years ago. When I started watching the anime, Nico lost his mind. My friend Nico lost his mind. He was like, fuck you, turn it off.
Yeah.
And he lives 7 minutes away. He was like, this was before we could even drive. He's like, I will bike to your house and give you the manga so you can read it instead.
I have a good metaphor. Assuming that people who are listening now are already familiar with One Piece, which is what we've been talking about, every crew member is part of an arc. When a crew member gets added, they have their own arc where you learn and get introduced to them. Imagine if you go through all of One Piece and all of a sudden, instead of this huge arc happening and now we have Chopper to the team, imagine if it was just hi, I'm Chopper. Can I join you guys? Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. And that's what the anime.
That's the equivalent. Yeah. That's the equivalent to Brooks. Skeleton. I want you.
Yeah.
But
at least Brooks gets background after he's brought on.
But you know what
team.
I mean? You could imagine if somebody like Berserk has this huge intricate stories and arcs to introduce characters and give their backstory, and the anime adaptations imagine if Chopper was just hey, I'm Chopper.
Yeah.
And there was no island. They didn't even.
That would piss me off
what the that's what the anime adaptation does with a lot of the important stuff. But they're just oh yeah, by the way, this thing's happening now, and it's oh really? What happened to the 3 hours worth of content that led up to this with overarching themes? Yeah.
No,
Sanji
Sanji doesn't
looks
have
pretty
his
badass.
twirly brow. No.
I think so. Heise might be talking about One Piece in general, right? Which Sanji does look cool. But if you want to see what Sanji is actually really based on, he's based on a character by Steve Buscemi over in Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at Reservoir Dogs, Steve Buscemi, you can look it up if you want right now. It's a picture of Steve Buscemi, much younger Steve Buscemi, right, smoking, and you'll be like, oh shit, that is like pretty much what Sanji is based on. You know, it's pretty cool. But I want to ask now. Let's say somehow we come across some sort of genie who's like, look, you have one wish, and that wish is you can make any faithful live adaptation to whatever anime you want. It'll be a live action, and it'll become the most faithful, the most popular, the most, detailed. You see it?
I see it.
That. Yeah.
But
I see it 100%.
you get to choose which anime is faithfully adapted to live action. You get to choose. I'm curious. There's so many amazing anime. Which one would you guys choose? You can even choose if One Piece is the one you want.
Yeah.
Say this one gets scratched from the universe, whatever. Everybody forgets about it, and whatever this genie does, he does a dance or he snaps his finger or whatever, or blows you a kiss, and then all of a sudden that one has disappeared, and now this new adaptation.
I know mine is One Piece, but I'm gonna give you guys another one because it feels like a cop out. But I need time to think about that one. But mine is One Piece.
Okay.
Really clear. I love One Piece. But I'm gonna think of another one right now.
All right. I have
Heise has his too.
Basically Naruto.
Yeah, Naruto. Screw
Hell
everything
no.
else. Getting
Naruto-
goosebumps typing this.
That's fair. For me,
It's good.
And just think about this adaptation. This genie would make it so that it becomes literally perfectly, faithfully adapted through live action.
I have two answers, and then I have an interesting one because, all right, One Piece would have been my first choice.
Yeah.
But we've already talked about it.
Yeah.
And the reason why is just because it's so long. So it would be cool to have not only
Something so faithfully adapted
and
that
for
you
so
know.
long.
Yeah.
I would never run out of content.
The other one was what we were talking about, Berserk, just because it was something that's super interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Now,
I don't think I could live with.
That's fair.
Because
Seeing
you
that,
know
it gets
how
really-
he's born.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
don't
but can
want
you
to
imagine,
see
though?
that.
I don't know any knowledge of Berserk, but I'm thinking like if you get like your wish is granted, your faithfully adapted HBO series of Berserk.
That would scar people for
Then,
life.
It'd
but
be messed
how
up.
excited would you guys be though, knowing what you know and knowing that you guys made this wish?
I would think that's wicked.
I would love it. I would love it. But
It's definitely
there would be so many people that couldn't get past episode one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would watch it and people would throw up.
Definitely. Normally,
watching
like
it.
you might see a thing where it's like, oh, sensitive content
Oh, yeah.
warning. Like that one definitely. It needs like 4.
That's needs big flashing lights.
Yeah.
Like don't watch this if
Now,
you have
What's
a sensitive
past rated M, rated X or something like that?
Yeah.
Is X for like just porn or whatever? Or
I think it is, but
just porn.
It
But
might as well be at this
Yeah.
point.
there was an exception. It sounds
Yeah.
like this is the exception. Would be
Yeah.
the Berserk
No,
one.
it'd be rated 50 X's.
just take a
I'm not, I don't want
take
to
a
spoil
survey
anything too
before.
bad, but I don't think you're ever gonna read it.
Probably not.
So I'm gonna tell you, and you can say if you want to say this.
I mean, I think you could just think of literally the worst things that you can ever think that humans can do, and that's pretty much it. Like it is literally just as bad as you can get.
I'm dead serious. Literally born from death.
Oh, I'm
It's about
picturing
as bad as you
HBO
get.
trying to execute that.
Imagine how gnarly.
Oh,
Wow.
but my third answer,
Oh yes.
which is just the most interesting one because we haven't talked about it, is the anime series Monster, which
okay.
is the doc.
Ooh.
It's like Death Note, but Death Note's already happened, and I'm like halfway through it, and it's just really interesting. Do you know anything about
I don't
the
know.
anime series Monster?
I don't even know if I've heard about it.
So-
I don't even think you've mentioned this to me before.
No, it's
I
one of
will-
those in your vault kind of anime.
It is a psychological thriller, and it is done pretty well compared to other stuff. It definitely has a similar tone to Death Note does.
How would you compare it to Parasite? Have you seen Parasite?
The movie or the show?
The show.
That's my alarm to work out. I will do that after the pod.
Okay, I have seen the anime Parasite. I think
Because I love
Parasite's
I
way
loved
more
Parasite.
goofy than
Yeah.
Monster. I love Parasite though, just like the concept. Parasite has its dark moments, which are pretty similar to Monster, but imagine if Parasite didn't have comedy and also no aliens. It's just a normal.
Yeah.
It's a normal
I'm gonna go through my
world
roster.
psychological
I like it.
thriller where this is like book cover synopsis. Doctor saves patient, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of murders start occurring around the doctor, and it kind of like calls into question the ethics of what the role of a doctor is. Who do you save? Who don't you? And pretty quickly it gets out of the hospital. It's not like a hospital like K-drama deal. Like it's like actual life-threatening stuff. Buildings get blown up. People get shot and die. Basically, this doctor gets like whisked away from his, stable, normal doctor life.
Yeah.
And is now on the run from the law, being chased and chasing this serial killer murderer who is for some reason targeting him.
So psychological and everything, right? And
the doctor's very smart, and the enemy, the evil guy, is also like one of these big brainiac type deals.
Yeah.
So it very much does kind of have those similar.
Remember how many episodes it is?
I think it's like 100. Like it's a decent.
Still ongoing, or is it done?
It's done. It's super old. It's
done.
4:3 aspect ratio.
So just
like
to kind of give like a maybe a season thing. If it was like live action adaptation, how many seasons do you think we're looking at? Maybe.
If it was a faithful adaptation, that tried to do pretty well, probably like
six,
maybe
like 12 episodes a season.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless you want to go like long seasons. If it's like a 20 episode season,
maybe cut it to like 4 seasons of just that.
I think.
I could see it like 24.
I guess it'd be breaking the prompt of being 100% faithful, but I think you could get away with like 4 seasons, 12 episodes, cutting as much filler as you can.
Yeah,
because like all shows have filler.
Cutting filler is acceptable.
But maybe that's what's going to go ahead and make it like that much better, right? Than the anime.
It makes it more digestible. It makes it quicker.
You're just trimming all that filler fat, right? And it's just now you're getting the story, and you're getting like every episode grips you. Every episode you're just excited for, right? Leaves you with wanting more. If you go ahead and get an episode,
that's definitely a problem with writing. Is you as the writer, as the producer of this show, don't get to actually decide how long the show runs. Other people have said that for you, so you have to tailor your show to that. So if they give you a small number, you need to cut content. If they give you a large number, you need to fill content. And these are renewing, so that's how some shows' pacing starts changing a lot, because they'll be like, oh, okay, we really like this concept, but we're only going to give you so much time. So you'll get animes that are really good that start like very quick.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, okay, this anime is amazing. We'll pick you up for double the episodes on the next renewal of the contract. And they're like, whoa, wait, well, now we're already up to this point. I didn't write past this. Now I need to slodge it out.
You know who was a big victim of that? Fairy Tail.
Yeah?
Fairy Tail is like fucking 30% filler.
Ugh.
Because they would...
I don't like the sound of that.
The filler, I'll give it, the filler was done well.
It's bearable?
Yeah.
It's bearable. It's kind of like, oh, there's a new island, go explore the new island, but the story's still good. Like, you can still follow it and not completely drone off. But they would catch up so often in Fairy Tail. And then the writer would be like, I need fucking time. And the animation studio it started off with the animation studio being just like, do we go on hiatus or do we throw in a filler? And they're like, fuck it, let's throw in a filler. And they did a decent job to the point where the writer was like, that was good, but if you're gonna do a filler again, you need to do something more like X, Y, and Z. And then they kind of started working together on the filler here to give them like, kind of like what Akira Toriyama does now with Dragon Ball, where he gives them bullet points and then they fill in the bullet points and they build a story around the bullet points.
Yeah.
Which Dragon Ball Super did it well. They built good stories around the key bullet points.
Yeah.
But that's what Fairy Tail ended up doing. It ended up coming out pretty well, but there's still like a lot of filler. But it's kind of to the point where you kind of can't tell it's filler if you're watching it.
I definitely think, though, that, which I think is almost sad, that maybe there are some good adaptations, but when you do have super long shows like that, there's definitely filler.
Yeah.
And I think remaking it, like if they did do a live action, that should be the perfect time to be able to retroactively go back and look and be like,
you know
what
who did a great job at that? Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Oh, yeah?
Because Kai is a remake of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And they cut out, like, I think it's like, I want to say like 60 to 80 episodes worth of content.
Good amount.
If not 100.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of Dragon Balls.
They also sugar-coated it a lot too, right? Because obviously Dragon Ball Z
They
Kai
also
is
cut out
meant
a
to be
shit
on.
ton of yelling.
Yeah, it's meant to be over on what, like Nickelodeon or something, you know?
Yeah, so Dragon Ball Z Kai was
You're not getting
a Nick Teen
Yeah.
show.
So I would imagine you're losing a lot of like whatever like blood moments or whatever and stuff. You know, a lot of kind of on the line moments.
Yeah.
But Zach, did you go ahead and already mention your
I didn't even
faithful live adaptation that this genie could go ahead and grant you?
You were like, oh, just give me like a second. I'm thinking of
I was
it.
like, I need a second.
Do you want me to say mine?
Go for it. Well,
Okay.
I have too many.
Okay. So I have mine that came to mind immediately. I like where Heisei is because Heisei is on the right track. And Heisei, obviously, Attack on Titan is the easy answer,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
To see a faithful live adaptation of Attack on Titan would be amazing, right? Because Heisei even mentions that, get this, live action of Attack on Titan, Eren and Mikasa under the tree, you see a glimpse of the rumbling, people screaming at everything, getting destroyed, and Eren wakes up. That's how it starts. That'd be cool. I think we're getting a little too early with the rumbling, though. I think talk about faithful, how it begins it with the anime might be the best way to go, right? But for me, I would love to see, and this was the first one that came to my mind, Hunter x Hunter.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know why, but
Yes.
it took forever for me to go ahead and finish Hunter x Hunter, right?
Yeah.
But then
You were so
once
glad you
I got
did.
to the point where I got invested again, I watched it all in its entirety, and for whatever reason, I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, if this genie can grant a faithful Hunter x Hunter live action adaptation, and it becomes something that people are just like in awe of or whatever, right? Like, that would be so amazing,
Yeah.
you know? And
That'd be
there's so many awesome moments too, just in the anime where if again executed awesomely, then like I'd be crying tears of joy, you know? Like I'd be so excited for every
scene with,
episode
Gon and Leorio.
and everything. Yeah, like every it just like that's a good one. You know, there's so many ones that for me personally, like the very popular ones, like obviously Tokyo Ghoul is one where like that'd be really really cool. You know, Attack on Titan, as we mentioned, stuff. You know, but yeah, there's High School DxD. I mean, but who's
It's faithful. It's faithful.
faithful. You know, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Chainsaw Man would be badass too, dude. Are you kidding me? I will say my dad's watching Chainsaw Man now.
Yes.
He's 2 episodes in.
Oh, thank you, God.
So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a movie and an anime.
Wait, so a movie? Okay, so
like a live
Anime.
action movie.
So
so you
with
mean that?
animation.
Okay. So you're saying like your adaptation is not going to be
Like-
movie form.
No.
A movie's going to be based on the.
No.
An adaptation of an anime
It's gonna
movie.
be a movie adaptation of an anime movie of
Yeah.
a Ghibli film.
Okay.
Howl's Moving Castle.
Ooh.
I know you haven't seen it. That's an amazing Ghibli film that I think you should watch. But I know, have you seen it?
It's pretty good.
I would love seeing that with a faithful live action.
It would be really it does have some pretty cool areas, definitely. Some like interesting art stuff. There's the train when they're on the railroad.
Yes.
That scene would be really cool if it was done properly. There's like a railway chase scene where like the railway starts falling apart and like cannon fire. It's like really intricate animation stuff. Like it's animated amazingly. And if the CGI animators could do the same, that would be
That
awesome.
would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then for my anime,
Anime. Yeah.
that isn't One Piece.
It's not One Piece.
Probably Vinland Saga.
Okay. I know you've been on that Vinland Saga.
I love. Have you seen
Viking
any
show.
of Vinland Saga?
Seen the first season.
The second season is so good. It's
Yeah.
finished. I'm caught up.
Okay, so now I'm
I
gonna put a
would
little bit of a
love it.
twist. Okay, this might change your answer, it might not, but again, this is a faithful live action adaptation that you get to choose, right? But here's the new twist: is that you are casted in it, and you get to choose who you get to be. And again, this is gonna be however you do, whoever you
I'm
casted
fucking
by.
Thorfinn. I'm Thorfinn.
Just okay, so you're sticking with Vinland Saga.
I'm Thorfinn, and then I'm Howl.
Okay, well, you get. Is it the same person, or are you choosing 2 people?
Howl is from the movie. Vinland
Okay.
is
Okay,
Thorfinn's from
okay.
Vinland
So
Saga.
your Studio Ghibli is that's your character in that one.
Howl. Yes,
Howl,
tall
okay.
blonde white man. Yes.
Okay.
Blue eyes. Perfect. It's
All right,
picture perfect.
gotcha. Does yours change at all, Nate?
I'm really
Mine
trying to
changes.
I'm trying to think about like what character would I be? I think it'd be fun to do One Punch Man. And
Saitama?
I wouldn't be Saitama.
I could see you
What's-
being a good Genos.
Is that the robot guy?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
I could see you being a good Genos or, what's his name? Baru, the guy with the white hair, wolf dude.
Oh,
second season.
yeah.
Oh yeah. We were talking about.
I could see that. That would be pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be.
What about
cool.
you?
And then for you,
Well, for me, I mean, if it's faithful, I'm get casted in it. You already know My Hero Academia. I'm Shiggy.
Shiggy,
I'm
baby.
Shigaraki.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you kidding me?
also, Heisei, we don't know about the ending in the manga. Well, at least AJ does. I don't know if Nate knows about the ending in the manga for
I
AOT.
don't know,
pay
and it's on
attention.
purpose too.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go ahead and
Bad.
find out.
I don't know that.
You don't know? No, it's okay. It's okay. I
watched the ending.
I know the
I watched
OG
the ending of
ending.
the show.
I don't know the second ending because like they had to retcon it because everyone hated the first. Do you know about that? Everyone hated the first ending, so the creator literally created a whole new ending.
Really? That's actually hilarious. That's kind of funny.
But I
should've
know
stuck
the
to his
original
guns.
ending, but I don't know.
The new one.
You don't know what we're gonna get. Yeah, interesting. Well, this isn't a shocker, but Heisei is saying that he would be Flock. So
Yeah, no shit.
yeah, we know Heisei is a
Jaegers.
Flock fanatic.
And he says Eddie is Aaron.
Yeah, and yeah, so yeah, Heisei is our
I would love to
favorite
see Eddie as
Jaegerist,
Aaron.
but
Eddie's gonna cut his hair though.
he did. Yeah, he told us he cut his hair, so hopefully he invested in some bucket hats, some beanies for when it gets colder, and then until his hair grows back. Huh?
You make me cry.
Oh, with this?
The lo-fi.
Yeah, this is lo-fi. This
One
is Mother of the
Piece.
Sea or whatever. Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Mother Sea? Yeah.
It's a very sad, somber song.
But you gotta love those live action adaptations and
Oh my God.
how much of a miss they
Dragon
are.
Ball Evolution, baby. Let's go.
That was
You seen that
the
one?
pinnacle of, like, it doesn't get any worse than that.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'd love to see actually remade in a live action?
What?
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball?
Think about how
I
much
feel like there's-
content we'd have.
If that happened, they can't
If
mess up.
done faithfully. Like I said, if
who
done
are you
faithfully.
casting yourself as? In Dragon Ball, right? We're talking Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, but I, for whatever reason, I don't know why I
Well, like all of
avoid.
it, all Dragon Ball and
But I avoided Dragon Ball.
You should watch it. It's
I don't.
really
I feel like it's not a good watch now.
good. No,
it's
it
good.
still is.
Still good?
'Cause
Wa- start from
when
the
when you
beginning.
watch it, it humbles you so much, and like you don't understand. Oh wait, because you've seen Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
You don't understand how much it completely turns your world upside down when Raditz beats the shit out of Goku and Piccolo. If you transfer from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, like seeing Raditz just toy with Goku and Piccolo, like it literally bends your perspective on life.
Okay.
Because at the end of Dragon Ball, you're like Goku and Piccolo are the two strongest people on the fucking planet. Like there's no one
Yeah.
stronger than them. And then Raditz just comes around and fucking.
All
Yeah.
animes are always a fun watch. Dragon Ball, like
Dragon Ball's
the original Dragon Ball is a pretty good watch, even if you don't care for the current Dragon Ball. They're pretty not similar, honestly.
No, completely different.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Wait.
like
Say it again. So current or old?
Oh, I would say watch old original Dragon Ball if you want to try getting into it.
Is that because they like the art style?
It's
kind of-
the
the art style, the
art style,
characters,
the comedy. It's all different.
Everything is.
Yeah.
So look, the old Dragon Ball is much funnier.
Didn't they do
Yeah.
that with Hunter x Hunter also? Didn't Hunter x Hunter had a like?
Hunter x Hunter did have an older version.
Had an older version,
They
yeah.
made. I'm still a little bit confused. It's technically different,
It's
but it's similar.
a different
Same story,
canon.
just looks
Yeah, it's
like
more
new.
like-
a
it's- what is it-
different
what is it?
canon.
What is
it's
it?
like a retcon.
What I'm trying. It's like Full Metal Alchemist. How there's two different.
Oh,
ones.
Brotherhood, and then
Yeah, that's like
and
that.
I told you Brotherhood.
Yeah.
You have to watch Brotherhood because Brotherhood is good. Don't watch Full Metal Alchemist. It's shit.
Yeah, there's
Gotcha.
changes in the canon for the different Dragon Balls, but the overall you can start with old Dragon Ball is still follow through and make sense, and I think it's an easier watch to start with old Dragon Ball because you can watch for it
It's
more
like-
than just the because like if you haven't gotten into new Dragon Ball,
You know what a good
different aspect of it.
comparison is?
what?
Sorry, I get. No, not
I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that. I was
Master Roshi.
A little Roshi.
Master
Little Roshi came out of you on talking about Dragon Ball.
Watching starting off at Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
is like watching after they hit the Grand Line.
Yeah. I already told you when I started watching One Piece, I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This is tough because how the art style is and everything. You know, and
then I showed you.
Yeah, you showed me. I'll never forget. It was in and out, and you showed me.
In and out, and I showed AJ a scene from Kaido versus Luffy.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's worth it.
Yeah. Kaido is so far into it.
Yeah. He gave me that little tease
just,
there.
You know, like 900 more.
I showed him the newest episode that had come out that week.
That's insane.
And I was like, but
just to show me how different
I showed him like
the style.
maybe 5 minutes, just to show him the animation style.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not even. Maybe it was. Like
honestly, probably was just a quick little tease. Yeah, just to get an idea of how
it was
different.
One
it looks.
scene. Oh, I remember exactly what scene it was. It was the start of the main fight. And Luffy basically, it's Luffy and 4 other people getting ready to fuck up Kaido and Big Mom.
Which, obviously, I'm not there yet. Right.
Yeah, you're not there yet. But I showed you it's Luffy walking up the steps and basically making his grand entrance for the final fight to start.
Yeah.
And Luffy does one move and it's red. It's like a red hawk. So it's like got the fire and a beautiful animation, and the fire looks like the gum fruit.
Yeah.
So it looks amazing. And I was like, this is what you can look forward to.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of helped you kind of.
Well, it was like, okay, well, now I know what the destination is. I just got to get through, the animation style, which once you kind of get the characters all in place and you get to a certain point in the story, you're like, okay, I'm in,
I feel like once you got to Water 7, you were hooked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say.
And you got to NES Lobby and you were hooked.
Yeah.
I feel like that was your aha moment.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite. It's my favorite arc. Just because.
For me, it was Alabasta. Alabasta had me.
Yeah.
Locked
Alabasta was good.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah. With the stuff before about the different versions of Dragon Ball, I guess comparing back to One Piece, early Dragon Ball is so much character driven individually, and I feel like later Dragon Ball is a lot more like the interactions between them, and it's kind of like how like Usopp for a lot of the later stuff, he's kind of developed. He is grown. There's not much focus on Usopp's character, which is fine because you've seen that and you've seen him grow, and so you understand the interactions.
I feel like you had your moment at Water 7 with Luffy and Usopp, and Usopp's had his big growth.
I feel like if you start with like later Dragon Ball, it's like you're starting with modern Usopp, where which is fine. You can do that and you can enjoy that. But
a better comparison is saying watching Dragon Ball Z is like picking up after Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
Like after the time skip.
Yeah.
You just won't get as much of that early development stuff, and so that could make it harder to enjoy other interactions. And so I think, and also it's fun seeing those interactions. Like I liked seeing stuff with Usopp, and I understand why they don't do as much, is because he's already developed. That's kind of like the whole point of character development. Honestly, it would feel kind of weird if Usopp was.
The theory is Usopp's gonna get another big development.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Did you see Film Red?
No.
So so the big thing about Usopp is his lies come true, right? He still has like 3 or 4 lies that haven't come true yet. I'm not gonna get super deep into it.
Okay.
Some of these theories are
theory
like
crafting.
Some of these theories are like super big, but he's supposed to get a couple huge more developments.
Okay.
Very interesting.
But it's supposed to be like.
I've been waiting for it from
I've
the guy
been waiting
Usopp.
for some more Usopp. I love Usopp's developments.
So like this isn't like a spoiler. Like I said, it's all theoretical.
Yeah.
Like 2 theories. One, he's supposed to get like insane observation hockey. Like
they kind of hinted at that earlier on before. He definitely has used hockey.
Because like his dad Yasop, who's on
I mean, we're all at a point. I don't know how much we're planning to talk about later One Piece without warnings.
I feel like at this point, like I'm not gonna spoil anything major, but like his dad Yasop, who everyone knows is on the red hair, he's on Shanks' crew, has like amazing observation hockey, and it's kind of like he's supposed to become better than his dad, so you can only assume that he's gonna get like Katakuri level observation hockey.
I was so jazzed when I saw Usopp like basically using hockey during that scene where he had to like get like the perfect shot, and he's like, I need to hold still.
Oh, you're talking about in
when he became God Usopp.
The Doflamingo arc. At, what's the name of
the little girl?
Yeah.
What's the name of the fucking
Sugar?
Yes, but what's the name of the city?
Oh, they were over in Dressrosa.
Dressrosa.
Yeah.
No, that was so. I got
cool.
so happy seeing him get the little image, and I was like, yes, yes. There's a moment like that in film Red.
Oh, okay.
So he gets like a very like, you can tell he's got something going on there, but they don't they don't openly say it.
I haven't watched it yet because I want to get like basically.
I'd say wait until this arc is over,
and then watch.
Wait until Wano's done, which you only have maybe like another 2-3 months until Wano's like donezo, because we're supposed to get.
Oh, so it goes into like manga stuff, or is it just like I won't be able to?
Nah.
That's weird if it comes out and
have you heard about Gear 5?
Not really.
So then I'd say wait, because that's something that's gonna happen at the end of Wano.
Oh, okay. So I think that's a weird move to release the movie then. That kind of like.
I mean, every anime does it. Dragon Ball's done it. Naruto's done it.
Ahead of the main show, though. Come on. I guess you're interpreting like people who see the movie are already mega fans. They probably already read the manga.
Yeah.
But it's like
because there are a lot of people who won't watch movies.
Yeah.
Until they know they're done with the art.
I guess good thing that I didn't watch it then. At one hand, I was like, I don't know when this.
That's why I didn't bring you. Yeah. I knew it was gonna do some shit because I didn't think it would show what it did, but it shows. It legitimately shows for like literally like maybe 50 frames. Gear 5, and everyone was like,
"It's like it hasn't even happened in the show yet." Why are you?
No. The thing is, it had barely happened in the manga.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
It was like
was that fresh? Huh?
It was fresh. Like they lined that shit up perfectly.
That's insane.
But also too is like. When that movie came out, who knows where I was at in One Piece? I know I was nowhere near Wano.
You've been so lost.
I think you were at Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
I think that's where you were. You were at Thriller Bark, if not a little bit before that, like finishing Enies Lobby. And I was like, AJ, you cannot watch this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, like you weren't even at the time skip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the movie was fire.
Good thing I didn't watch the movie.
And then, anyways,
I don't want to be spoiled.
To go back to the Usopp theories, I think I mentioned this to you before. Another big Usopp theory is one of his lies is he dies at sea.
Oh wow! So, if you're talking about how this amplification, whatever it's all
because all of his lies have come true for the most part.
Yeah,
he's met tiny elf people. He's befriended giants. He's led giants.
Yeah,
he's been deemed a god.
That is funny.
So but like, also it's like you got to think that there's gonna be some point where we're gonna lose some straw hats. You know, like that's just what it is, right?
And,
I mean.
Or it could be one cool thing is that this might be the one lie that now there's two ways it can go. It's either one, Usopp dies in the main fight, or two, or like he dies like doing the only he's the only one that can save the crew, and then he takes the ultimate sacrifice. Or two, that's the one lie that doesn't come true, and Usopp brings light to that. He goes, I said this thing, and I'm not gonna let it happen.
I'm down to let Usopp die because. No.
Well, if it is
here's what I mean.
Involving saving the Straw Hats and he goes and dies, it's kind of glorious.
That's
type
what
of
I mean.
Sacrificing himself.
Usopp, I think, is the best developed character out of all the Straw Hats.
100%.
And I think him dying would just kind of be like, hey, I know that One Piece is a hard sell. My number one reason, Usopp. The whole thing. Because if he gets further development and then ends up dying in like some huge way, that would be like enough for me to be like, yeah, it was worth for me continuing to watch.
Can you just imagine like moment right before his death where Usopp looks at Luffy one last time and they both kind of meet eyes in eye contact, and then Luffy's kind of at a point where much like Will over Impel Down, where he literally is physically unable to go ahead and move, and the only thing that he can do is just watch Usopp die. Right? Yeah. But Usopp again does it in a way where he knows that his death means his team, his friends survive, and his family.
Amazing observation hockey. Maybe he's like, this is the one way. Yeah. I have to die.
He's like Dr. Stone with the fucking.
Yeah.
It was the only way.
But the thing is, though, it's like, I mean, I think we all can agree that in terms of the Straw Hats, the characters, I mean, Usopp probably would be the best option to go ahead and be this, you know, in terms of AOT, like he is going to become the Marco.
Yeah.
You know?
Fuck that. I think if anyone should die, it should be Brook.
Dude, Brook's not gonna die, dude. We just got Brook. It wouldn't make that much of an impact. Dude, how many times you go ahead and you see Brook and you're like, oh cool, Brook's back, and then all of a sudden, where'd Brook go?
But the whole thing is, Brook can't die.
Yeah.
Can I see your pennies?
Bandidas.
How does Brook die? Have they even?
How would he die?
No,
How would he die?
Because from what I've seen memes of him literally
But
at
you want to know?
the
Okay,
graveside of all of his
my theory.
allies.
If Brook were to die, my theory is Blackbeard takes his devil fruit from him, and he's just a skeleton. So he just.
Honestly, I feel like
It wouldn't resonate though. It wouldn't leave that lasting impact,
but
that freaking feeling.
Well, hold up. I love Brook.
I love Brook. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, you love Brook, but you can't argue that Brook dying is gonna have the same impact that Usopp dying would. We're talking Usopp literally so far early on into One Piece.
I think it's
this dude has been a staple of the Straw Hats.
You would rather everyone die on the crew, and we get like the very last scene is all of their graves next to Ace's and all.
If it meant them accomplishing their goals and where they wanted to get to, and they die finally to a point where awesome, you know.
No. I think Usopp dies, and then I'll accept Brook dying in combat, but I think honestly I would give it like 2 minutes. It'd be like, no, and then he's just a pile of bones, and it was like, oh my god, Brook's dead, and then he keeps going.
Like, I just feel like the impact's just not the same, dude.
Brook's not meant to be this character like that.
I feel like you guys totally undervalued the fact that Brook tried to 1v1 Big fucking Mom.
Until he realized he was out of his league, and he was like, shit, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
But he fucking put up a fight.
No, Brook's,
he had
Brook's
to.
strong, Brook's cool, but he doesn't have the same emotional impact as Usopp dying would be. I don't think he can get there. I don't think he can get there.
I love Brook.
Brook dying would suck, yeah, but I'm in agreement with Nate that, you know what, honestly, after a couple episodes, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's right. Brook died, huh? Fuck, you're right.
Yeah. I'm not meant to take Brook seriously. Usopp, you're supposed to kind
would
of be
hurt
like,
me, dude,
yeah.
for a while.
I would always be like, man, I miss that one guy on the crew.
Like, literally-
Meanwhile, Brook, I'm like, man, nobody asked to see panties this episode.
Yeah, my freaking example though, where it's like literally, you know, you have Usopp and Luffy locking eyes. Can you imagine? Yeah. Oh, we have Brook and Luffy locking eyes. Wait, if he had eyes, you know, it's so fucking stupid. You know, like. Yeah. It would suck, but yeah, like Nate made a great point. Literally, like as soon as we get to the next arc, whatever, it'd be like, oh, sorry, that's right, Brook's gone. Oh well. I would feel more if Frankie died, you know. Then I'd be like, oh fuck.
Oh hell no! You did not just tell me that you value Frankie's life more than Brook's life.
I do. Because without Frankie, we wouldn't have the Sunny.
Yeah.
You know.
Got a point.
I love Brook.
You hold Brook in such high regard, which is fine.
Brook dies without seeing Laboon.
Okay.
Then they've had
Brook haters. Hashtag Brook haters.
But here's the thing, though, is that is like not a true statement. There, we're not hating on Brook. We're just simply saying that it doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah. That Usopp #1 best written character.
I think any Straw Hat dying carries grave weight.
Yeah, of course. It's just, if we're doing a tier list, Brook's on the bottom.
The magnitude of how much weight this death holds.
I think you literally went from like my S tier, like most impactful death, to F tier, my least impactful death. You're like, oh, but what about Brook? I'm like, I'm telling you, it's a bomb on my list.
So, okay, do you think anyone has a more impactful death than Usopp?
No.
For me, honestly, I think that the only other person would be Zoro. Because Zoro was the first person to go ahead and join the Straw Hats. And if Zoro, I could see Zoro going out in such a warrior way just to ensure, like, say it was the only way to ensure the Straw Hat safety. And he told him, look, you guys need to leave right now. I will hold you guys until you guys escape. I will meet you guys over to the next land. And then all of a sudden you go and see a moment where in whatever arc, whatever it is, Zoro literally sacrificed himself. Not telling him he's going to sacrifice himself, but he goes and he tells him, I will meet you guys over in the next island. Knowing that, fuck, I'm gonna literally lay down my life for these stupid people. I just got a mental
image of it flashing back to the scene at the Bear Tea. Fucking Chris, I will never lose again.
Yeah.
How does that sound? Pirate King.
And then
just...
I just think that if I'm doing tiers here, I mean, he's probably second to Usopp. Usopp's top, then you have Zoro.
I think I'd be more just like confused. Did you know, honestly?
Fun fact, did you know that the Sanji versus Luffy episode was an hour special? Did you realize that when watching it?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. I think
we don't get an hour-long fucking Gear 5
hour-long Gear 5 special. That would be kind of cool.
What were you gonna say, Nate? I feel you're gonna be onto something.
I think
with the
I would be more just. I think Zoro would be up there only because I think that'd be such a bad decision from the writers. I feel like Zoro has so much more room, and I know that. I guess Usopp they have more plans for. But I think where Usopp is right now already feels good. Like I'm not complaining.
Dude, we got like 5 more years of One
Do you
Piece.
guys watch Walking Dead?
Yes.
Because in my mind, I'm like, shit, this is low-key kind of like Negan killing Glenn. Spoiler alert for people who don't watch Walking Dead. But
back to it.
But this is like as if, fuck, we just lost Glenn. But Glenn literally was a staple of the group, and then there was so much more room for him to grow. He was becoming a leader, you know? He'd be like, fuck, the same thing with Zoro. Be like, dude, like, are you kidding me right now?
I feel like Zoro's progression is taken like, it hasn't been met, and it's kind of taking a sidestep right now, like a sidetrack, where there were times where it's like up in front. And I think Usopp has kind of like finished what he's needed. And at this point, I think he's already come so far that I really feel like he's been developed and fleshed out. And I feel like they're setting up all this stuff for Zoro. And maybe if they finish that, Zoro might go up and compete against Usopp. But right now, Usopp's just so well developed. It feels like almost a good decision.
I feel like not enough
from a
people give
writer's
Zoro the credit he deserves for his character development.
I agree with that because Zoro is the type of guy where he doesn't expect recognition. You know?
If we take Zoro pre-time skip, Zoro was very goofy and laughy and he had his funny moments. But we get like 0 funny moments with Zoro after the time skip. Like since the time skip, we have gotten like 0 funny moments with Zoro. Unless it's like him taking care of Chopper, which is just Zoro
or
being
him just getting lost. But you know, at that point, it's not really funny. It's more just kind of like, oh, you expect it from him, you know. But then he doesn't do it in a comedic way. You know, like, you know that.
But I feel like that's part of my point. Is like I feel like Zoro still is obviously being set up to do something with, versus like Usopp after the time skip, he feels so like he's ready to be independent, which is like a whole new side of him. And I feel like he doesn't have a lot of screen time, but he doesn't need it. You kind of just feel like you know, like he knows what he's doing. Yeah,
like, you know he's there. He does his part. Nami's thing is she cries. She says she's gonna give in. Then she's like, I'll never give up because Luffy's gonna be the Pirate King.
Yeah, I feel like for hers though, I feel like she still could be better. Usopp, I feel like, is at the point where he wanted to be. Like Usopp envisioned himself as the hero, and now he very much is the hero.
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah.
Because Robin had her huge development. She had her moments at NES Lobby.
Yeah.
And now Robin's just kind of there for the ride.
I was gonna say Robin's probably like second to last over in my. If I were to lose a Straw Hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it would be more impactful for Jinbei or Frankie to die than Robin?
Well, Jinbei's kind of not in the mix yet.
That's true. I wasn't even thinking about Jinbei.
He's not really in the mix yet.
I guess Jinbei would be. Okay, Brook F tier, Jinbei E tier.
Yeah, like for me, I'm looking at.
You still think that
Brooks bottom? Then I got Robin.
That Frankie has a more impactful death than Robin.
I think that honestly, Frankie would probably be, and I mean, again, I could be way wrong here, but for me, like Frankie probably carries a little bit more weight to the team than Robin does at this point.
Yeah,
because I feel like Robin, like you said, she's just there. She's kind of just there. You know, I understand everything that they went through to go ahead and get to Robin and save her and stuff. You know, but where we're currently at, I'm trying to think of like. For the betterment of the Straw Hats going forward, I would rather have...
I'm not saying impactful to the team, I'm saying impactful to the viewer.
I get what you're saying.
I think Robin's
for me, this is my list, so impactful to me, I just feel like losing Frankie hurts more to me than Robin.
I think Robin's been taking a back seat, and maybe if Robin died earlier, like while
I need you guys to catch up. That's the moral of my story.
Okay. We're like 30 episodes off. 30? What are we at?
You're like
1060 now? Oh,
well, because you're reading, right?
No.
That's where they're at right now?
The anime episode's at 1060?
Okay.
Let me check.
Okay, well, I'm like 100 episodes behind. That's not long in One Piece terms.
Well, in One Piece, yeah. I mean, I feel like, you know, we kind of have an idea for these characters right now.
Yeah.
But, you know, with the exception of Jinbei, because Jinbei is kind of like, you know, he's...
Jinbei. Fishman.
You know. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me... I have my top 2, I have my bottom 2. In the middle, it kind of just varies.
We're at 1066.
Okay, I'm on like 100 episodes off then, yeah.
So until then,
there's
right now where I
that
stand,
happens in that fucking 100 episodes.
I'm okay with losing Brooks. I'm okay with losing Robin.
No, when I say losing people, this is more like 4 or 5 years down the road.
Yeah.
Fun fact, did you know that
you're giving stipulations here now?
No. That's what. Well, Oda says that there's like 5 years left of One Piece.
I guess it's kind of what we've been doing in terms of stipulation is like talk about hypothetically a big battle, right?
Yeah.
This is more like at the end fight, at the ending battle.
They found the One Piece, and it is real.
I would say it's more like an Akainu or like the world government or like a Blackbeard fight.
That's definitely gonna be a world government fight. That has to be how it ends. It's like the plot technically all revolves around the One Piece, but like the themes from the very first episode pretty much has always been about the world government. Like, that has to be how it ends. It has to be like revealing the history to the world.
They're introducing the world government in the manga right now.
It's just a like council of like, all these old-looking people.
And then there's another person who I will not say anything about at all.
I've seen that council and it's
super manga.
Because I think I saw on YouTube or something, just like a thumbnail image of it. But
so much more there. There's so much more there.
Yeah.
Wherever the dark forces, I don't know anything about them, but they've been hitting out from the beginning.
From Zach, since you got a good grip of how impactful these characters would be in your mind, like what's the tier here? Like what is the rankings here for you? Who is the top? Like, oh shit, if I lost them, like that would affect me the most. Two, you're like, oh, you know what? Honestly, if we lost a character, it wouldn't really affect me. Or it'd be like, hey, I'd be sad. Like with Brooks, like I'd be sad for a few episodes.
Yeah.
While we hear this One Piece theme.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Last place, Frankie.
Okay, Frankie's last.
Okay.
Because to me, Frankie's just the shipwright at this point.
Okay.
Like, Frankie doesn't even have a lot of cool moments.
Yeah.
Like, we understand he's tough. He's one of the tougher, but he's not like, I have very little attachment to Frankie.
Okay. I guess for me, my thing was his potential. But I mean, if you're saying that he doesn't really do much, like, that's perfectly fine. I have to get to a point where you're at,
Yeah.
So like, then Frankie, and then who else?
For me, Frankie's been like that for most of Wano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, since Wano really started, I've just been like, Frankie doesn't do much.
Yeah.
Like, he's just the shipwright, and I get it. Like, he's the shipwright.
Yeah.
Next. Okay, now you guys are going to make fun of me because I am going to put Usopp a lot higher than I originally was going to. But probably like Chopper.
Really? Wow.
Again,
I'm not
the
a
way
big
I see it
Chopper
is like,
fan
look,
either.
I love Chopper.
Doctor.
But it's just like, I don't think it would gut wrench me as much as any of the other characters on the crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I would say like, okay, maybe then Brooke, then Robin, then Nami, Sanji. And then, after talking about it, I feel like that scene that you brought up with Usopp would kill me. So then Zoro and then Usopp.
Yeah.
That would probably be the most.
Wait, where's Luffy? You didn't rank Luffy?
Luffy can't die.
Oh, okay.
Luffy can't die.
So Luffy's off
If
limits?
Luffy dies, story's over.
Second part of Gum Gum Fruit. No dying also.
Okay, now let's put it this way. What death that isn't on the Straw Hat crew think would torment you the most?
The first one that came to my mind is Trafalgar Law. Traffy.
Law?
Law
I think
is
Law
a
would
good
be the
one.
most detrimental to
So that's
you?
the first one that came to my mind. Like Traffy.
But it tends to be the first one that pops up is the one that is most impactful. Because that's the one that you...
Because with Traffy, I mean, I know that, again, talk about potential. I mean, I see a lot of potential in this guy. And then also, he's already helped out the Straw Hats. And like, if they were to lose that, you're
and
losing
now
a pretty
two
big piece.
separate arcs.
Yeah. I
Technically
mean,
3 arcs. He's been with them for like 3-4 arcs now.
if it didn't happen, I do think Whitebeard's death and... spoilers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Major spoilers, 2 deaths. I'm spoiling.
Yeah. It's,
Whitebeard's death and Ace's death. Both where I was like, whoa,
yeah.
that's insane. And I can't even think of other side characters that I think would get me to that point. Even like, I think Trafalgar Law, he's just so cool that I'd be like, damn, that's a cool character. I
could name 2 where you would be like, whoa.
Maybe. Name him.
So first one, I'm going to say one that's kind of obvious to me. Sabo. I feel like if Sabo died, I'd be like, what the fuck? Now Luffy has no brothers.
Yeah. I honestly keep forgetting he exists because he was kind of just like retconned into the... He kind of just sort of like, hey, remember those flashbacks that we do like every episode?
He bounces back in a lot more. I'll give you that. As of right now, he's bouncing back a lot more. We're getting a lot more Revolutionary Army backstory right now.
That's cool.
So I feel like if Sabo died, that would kill me.
I did see a headline recently and a couple episodes ago saying that Sabo's dead. So I didn't believe it for a second.
I'm not saying jack shit.
Okay.
And then Garp.
Oh, I didn't even think.
No, I'm gonna
Garp.
give you a third one, and I guarantee you that neither of you fucking are even. This dude is nowhere in your brain. If not Sabo or Garp, Kobe.
Oh.
Yeah.
The man who I didn't realize it was him after his glow up. I was like, this is a new character, and I was like, oh
Yeah,
fuck, that's
Character I
Kobe.
forget every now and then.
I knew it was him.
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
I was just like, there's no one else.
Kobe before and after the time skip, completely different human being.
No other person has those goggles and pink hair, right? Like, it's just him.
I didn't even cross.
I don't think there's like one other character in all the anime that has pink hair. So I just like pink hair. That's him.
No, there's
Somebody probably from like Fishman Island or something, you know.
Maybe.
Yeah, the princess.
Yeah, but
it's
you're
a
not gonna
girl.
mistake the princess though for
For Kobe. I'd be like, why are they?
There's got to be more people with.
Because
pink hair.
okay, I see all
Bonnie.
every other Marine just has a normal person. So I'm like, okay, why does this guy got pink hair and goggles? I'm like, who else has pink hair and goggles? Kobe. And
I'm not, I just forgot about Kobe as a character.
I forget about him.
I would be that crushed if Kobe died. At least not as much as Garp. I would cry. Garp, Grandparp. Can't do that.
Yeah, Gar would be a tough one to go and lose because of.
Then Luffy would have no one. No one.
I would die. I would die inside.
But yeah, I mean, Luffy
What?
dying, if he died at the very end, like assuming the show didn't end, I wouldn't be super crushed if Luffy died. Crazy. I'd be way more crushed if Usopp died than Luffy died.
Gum loses elasticity.
How like anticlimactic would it be if literally he dies by drowning?
He's fucking basically tried to kill himself by drowning every fucking
Like that's
arc.
how we lose.
This
him.
is actually my best ending. Luffy dies and Usopp becomes officially God Usopp, gets to One Piece, and lives happily ever after.
Yeah.
Best
And
ending.
The legend is
The legend's
God
done.
Usopp.
King Usopp.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Usopp leads all the
I
nations.
don't know why that brought me back to AOT. What if
Everything goes
Armin's
back to
the
AOT.
narrator? Because Armin kills Eren.
Yeah, that's been a theory that the reason why he's telling the story is because he survived it and he is, you know, kind of relaying everything, all the information. Narrator the Armin.
Narrator the Armin.
Yeah. I mean,
So wait.
it makes sense. It's his voice.
What One Piece death would destroy you? That isn't part of the crew.
Destroy me? I don't know. Destroy me.
You know what I think would actually...
Who do you think would really just be so gut wrenching?
Vivi.
Who?
Princess Vivi. Blue hair from Alabasta.
Who's that? I'm kidding. I mean, I don't know. To be honest, I feel like her duck would hurt me. Like it would hurt me more if her duck died.
Like Vivi?
Vivi's cool.
Duck's cool.
Honorary Straw Hat.
Yeah.
You know what I think would break your heart? What's the fucking
Yeah, if Doflamingo died, yeah, that would hurt me a lot.
Really hurt my feelings when Doflamingo died. I was like, oh man. Poor guy.
What's his name? The hormone person.
Oh my god. I don't remember the name either. I know what you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about? The one with the
Hormone?
purple?
Big purple
head,
face.
purple hair.
Purple hair.
Part of the Revolutionary
Why am I-
Army from the prison and fell down.
Oh yeah.
Boogie Boy. Straw Boy, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I know.
Well, like a
I don't know the
Tarantino
name,
woman.
but yeah, the one. Yeah.
He uses the poison
Yeah.
Hormones.
hormone into.
We did have a sad arc though with that when they're leaving that whole prison and stuff, right?
Bon Clay!
Another spoiler alert for all of our friends who are
He's not dead.
Who are
I
not
guarantee
planning
you
on
Bon
watching.
Clay isn't dead.
No.
Bon Clay lives.
They probably just imprisoned him. You know?
Fucking love Bon Clay.
Because
Fucking
I mean, I don't even know what that dude's name. The freaking, the guy who's in charge over the prison. You know?
I don't fucking care. Poison Man?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy who poisoned but upset stomach. You know, like.
Mhm.
I mean, he seemed like he was a cool character, but again, talk about gimmicks.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious. But yeah, there's a lot of characters
Law would hurt me.
in AOT where it's like, honestly, if I lost them, I can care less. You'd be like, damn, like that sucks. But
How
as long
would
as the
you
straw
feel-
hats are
How
intact,
would you
I'm
feel
good.
if
If what?
Connie died?
See, that would hurt, yeah. Because again, Connie is a staple of the Levi squad, and it all depends on how. Also, I mean, If he was just a common casualty of just, the final battle, then I'd be like, fuck, dude, that sucks. Because I feel like I would like a more grand way to go ahead and have Connie die, An ironic way would be if he gets eaten by his mom. That'd be ironic. I don't know.
Dark as hell.
That would be ironic. But, that would suck. I'd probably laugh a little bit to myself. Okay.
So dark. It's so dark.
I mean, he's like, yeah, this is all spoiler for people who haven't got to that point, but he's like, hey, Falco, do you want to go ahead and help brush my mom's teeth? Help me. And he's like climbing up the stairs or whatever, and for whatever reason, he's so like uncoordinated, even while still wearing his ODM gear. He's just like, see, just do the, oh shit, and next thing you know, just, and Falco's just like, and then here comes Gabi, like, Falco, get away.
You know what Falco would do? You know what Falco would do?
That Titan just ate.
You know what Falco would do?
Mr. Connie.
You know what Falco would do?
What? Falco doesn't know what the hell he's doing at that point. He doesn't know how to do that yet. Gabi would just be going like, oh my gosh, Falco, stay away from him. Like, oh, he just died. And then Armin would be he'd be like, oh my gosh, what? And then Armin would just,
I would go.
and then just, he thinks he'd kill himself. And the next thing you know, just turn into this giant nuke.
Just all you hear from the Titan is, God damn it.
Yeah. So Connie, yeah, that would hurt. Obviously, yeah. I mean, I think the only one from that group that I'm like, if they died, I'd be like, fuck, like, that sucks, but whatever. It'd be Jean.
Jean would hurt.
I don't know.
Horseface. Then everyone I voiced truly would die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone you voice exactly, yeah.
Do you have a most important side character to One Piece that cannot die? That you won't let die? You asked the question, you don't have an answer to your thinking very hard.
There's a lot. I'm trying to think of just
There's a
one.
lot. Just pick one.
Probably like,
who's gonna hurt your heart the most if they died? Oh my god, I can't believe they just died.
That has to be you. That has to be how you feel.
Something that would leave you so stunned that you would not watch One Piece for a little bit. Like I can't, like, yeah,
probably
literally.
Garp.
Really?
Because I could see this happening. Final battle starts to come. Luffy's ready to fuck up Akainu for killing Ace.
Yeah.
Like, Luffy's ready to go Gear 5 and fucking yo-yo his lava shit at him.
Yeah.
And Luffy's getting...
He's a pain in the ass in that One Piece Odyssey, too.
Akainu?
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. But I could feel like Garp going to tell Luffy, like, Garp finally fucking stops listening to the Marines. Oh, that's a sad moment. And Garp finally says, fuck the Marines. I love my grandson. Luffy, go
Fuck the Marines. I love my grandson.
Yeah. Literally. Just
Literally.
Go.
Just go.
That's exactly how it sounds.
No, keep going. You're right in the story.
And then he's fighting Akainu. And then I could see it being like, Akainu gets a moment where he can go after Luffy.
Yeah.
Goes to Luffy, and same pose and everything. Garp takes it.
Oh, damn.
And then
Deja vu, huh?
But Luffy doesn't have the luxury of breaking down this time. Luffy has to just swallow it and go to it, and then maybe like Zoro or Sanji takes over in a Akainu fight.
Or...
Do you think he would leave?
Or God Usopp takes on Akainu.
God Usopp takes... Luffy also dies.
You
And
say
Usopp takes over.
Luffy's leaving? You said somebody's taking over the fight.
Of Akainu, because Luffy's probably handling, like... I feel like Luffy's either handling the big bad character, either the head of the world government, who I'm not going to name, or he's going to be fighting Blackbeard for the final fight. And I feel like Luffy's going to have his hands full with one of those two, that someone else is going to have to fight Akainu, because Akainu's like... Technically, if it's head of world government, the council, then the three admirals, Kizaru, Akiji, and Akainu. Yeah. Like, they're not even considered second best. So someone else is going to have to take over those.
I did like, though, in one of the recent episodes I just saw where they talked about the bounties and how much money we got and stuff like that. Like it starts with like Blackbeard's like 2 million plus. Then you got like obviously Kaido and Big Mom are over at 4 million and stuff. And then we get to like the 5 millions. Obviously there's only like 2 of them. You have Whitebeard and you have
Shanks.
Shanks is, I think he's up there. I don't think he's quite at 5. If I remember.
Oh, you're talking about like in the flashback?
Yeah.
Probably Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
Dude.
Keep watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plan, but I'm telling you, man, right now it's a tough watch to go ahead and I watch dub, so I look to see where we're at, how far into the dubbed episodes it goes. I'm like, fuck, dude, it stops like in the middle of the like wherever that whole flashback is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not into it.
Yeah, that's why I hit a slog.
Wait.
I had a slog with One Piece because I am also a dub watcher because
you know what you should
I don't have the
Frankie.
Dude, Frankie's voice changes so bad.
Super.
Yeah.
It's so different than normal Frankie. I'm not used to it. I still
Frankie more like super.
Frankie's Endeavor. Frankie's Endeavor.
No fucking way.
Frankie's Endeavor.
Yeah.
You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna start rewatching One Piece in the dub,
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, do it.
That'd be cool.
That way you don't have to pay attention.
and I'll still catch up before you.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Well, it depends on where you're watching. You're gonna be watching the same thing, right?
through.
You're like,
Starting from 0.
yeah, because I know they have that all over on Netflix right now, up until where it gets to the end of
You need to
Annie's
watch
Lobby.
Crunchyroll.
Very
Yeah. I think I like the dub just because I always am doing something else. So I always just have it on
that's
another
what you
monitor.
told me.
When I have a sub on, I have to actually sit down, and that means the only time I ever sit down to actually watch something is before bed. So at most I see 1 episode and then I'm snoozing.
I'm not gonna lie.
I told AJ I sacrifice sleep.
I've been snoozing these last couple One Piece episodes. I'm not gonna lie. Now I get upset because I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, because it just keeps playing. I'm like, fuck, dude.
Where am I? What is going on?
Yeah.
You wake up, it's like, it's this filth.
I'm stuck in this freaking this endless loop right now.
Yeah. Every
I want to
time
see
they
what
get a little
episode you're on, so I
progress.
can tell you what you can.
But I can't yet because it's not dubbed up to a certain point.
Not dubbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I switched over to the sub, but I just am making very slow progress.
I tried.
Super.
Yeah, Frankie's voice is the most jarring of all. It's just like, whoa, it's entirely different. Frankie's this big old guy, and it's like, I'm Frankie. Hello, it's me, Frankie. And then you go to the anime, he's like, I'm your Frankie.
Yeah.
What did you think about Brooks's voice in the sub versus the dub?
Oh, jeez.
I like it.
I think
It's not
He
so
gets
sudden, crazy of a change.
he gets weirder. That's it. His voice is just a little bit weirder.
Yeah.
Frankie it goes from like goofy to just like, you're a little weird.
So,
but then
for
it's like a
you-
cultural voice.
Maybe you understand the voice. I mean, the voice actor. It's was it Whis from
Whis
from Super Dragon Ball Super? That's
Yeah.
weird. Super. I think Frankie. That's his name. That's what he says.
Super.
It's kind of weird, but yeah. So it's
Super.
Whis. Yeah. That's the voice. He's also a character in Fire Force, but I mean, I can't remember the name.
I haven't watched Fire Force, but it's supposed to be good.
It's good until you get to.
All I know is that it's a prequel to Soul
a
Eater.
lot of fan service, and it's just thrown out there.
Is it?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Fire Force is the prequel to Soul Eater.
Yeah.
It's the same universe. Notice how it's the same
That's wild.
mask and the sun and the moon.
I never thought about it. I've only seen the trailers because the first time I heard it, I thought it was literally just like a regular anime about firefighters. And then I'm like, oh, no, it's about demons and they're using fire. And then I'm like, oh, now I guess it's Soul Eater. So maybe I'll watch it.
Maybe.
It's good.
I was honestly more interested when it was just about firefighters and not about firefighters with demons. But now that it's Soul Eater, now I'm re-interested.
You're back in.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm like, how
I'm not
is
gonna lie, I was
this
the same
connected?
way. Like, I didn't start season 2 until I found out that it was a prequel to Soul Eater, and then I was like, I see it.
Yeah.
I was like, someone just said it to me, and I was like, huh. Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, so is it like sequel like explaining how the entire world became
It's
how it is?
it's explaining how
That's
the
super
world
interesting
became
because it's
what
like
it is.
how do you finish
So
the first season before you're like
it's not really explaining exactly how it got, like there's still a huge time
you
gap.
can interpret
But
like
it's
where
basically
where
like this
it
is the
started
origin
turning.
story of how Soul Eater came to be.
So does it start in like a kind of normal world? Oh.
Very modern world.
Okay.
Fire Force is a very modern world.
Versus Soul Eater, which is kind of...
It's not modern world. Think about it like One Punch Man, how they have like the little sector, then everything else is like a don't go zone.
I'm not wrong misinterpreting. Soul Eater is the one where there's like the Halloween world too, right? Where like the girl, like they have people turns into guns.
Yes.
And yeah, that's like
Soul
a
Eater is
whole
one where
weird
the character
world.
can turn into like a scythe and shit.
So how do you go from a normal world to a world like that where like, okay, no, I want to see
season
that.
2, I don't know yet.
Exactly, that seemed interesting. So now I'm really
I love Soul Eater, so when I heard that, I was like,
yeah,
shit, let me finish it. Then I never finished it.
No, I'm intrigued now. Nice. I want to see how it gets there.
So you do that. You could do that. You could spend your 21st birthday in Vegas watching Fire Force instead of enjoying the nightlife that is Vegas.
Fuck you. We're still watching Spider-Man.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I think we should go ahead and wrap it up because I'm getting so fucking hot in here.
It is hot.
And you're blowing my mind because
I'm
he's
chilling.
wearing the jacket.
I'm chilling right now.
I'm hot and I have
just for freaking context, all of you. Literally, we're in a room where this freaking fans are showing that it's like 87 degrees in here, and
the fans are blowing on my back, and I still guarantee you that I have a sweat streak.
It's insane. And I warned Nate, and Nate's wearing a jacket, which you guys can all see. And it's a
leather jacket.
I told you that.
Leather.
I was like, how far into the podcast before Nate takes that jacket off? And then Nate's like, oh.
I told you he wouldn't take it off.
And I'm like, bro, you would blow my mind if you don't take it off.
And here we are.
My mind is
110.
No forehead sweat.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Nate's used to the 110 heat over in freaking Texas.
Yeah. So Nate's from Texas. He's
been training my whole life for heat.
But yeah, blowing my mind.
I'm catching up on what Heisei said earlier. This guy Griffith looks like a hero. Apparently, he's not a good guy.
Yeah, Griffith's not that great.
Not that great of a guy.
Maybe like a huge laundry sheet of like war crimes that he has in the past. It's like,
Well, there you go, Heisei. Go ahead and start reading Berserk after you're all done with My Hero. That'd be awesome. But I do want to thank you again, Nate, for joining us in this pod. It's been a long time coming. I've been wanting you on the pod.
Time had gone by.
I know, yeah, me too.
I looked at my phone and I was like,
2 hours.
Crap.
I felt like it flew by, you know.
Forever.
But yeah, I know it's been a long time coming. I've been wanting you on the pod for a while, and very, very happy that you're here. You joined us and stuff. The stars aligned, and I hope that you have fun at the wedding you guys are going to be attending. You know,
wedding.
I hope that, you know, obviously that is the important reason why you're here. No, obviously your birthday is this weekend, so I want us all to go ahead and wish again happy early birthday to Nate. Should we go and do it again? Should we sing happy birthday again?
Yes.
Here we go. 3,
because Kyron's birthday is on Sunday.
1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nathan.
That's me.
Happy birthday to you.
Woo! 21, baby, 21.
Happy birthday to Nate.
Something for me.
Have fun in Vegas.
Dear Nate. Let's go, Heisei.
Yeah.
Dear Nate. Heisei, thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. This very, very hot Wednesday.
Very hot.
Yeah. But this was fun, guys. It was fun going and talk about. This was One Piece to talk.
Oh my God.
A lot of it dedicated to One Piece, but it was all good, man. We talked about a lot of different cool stuff, and
when we're done with AMT, we're moving to One Piece. We'll never run out of.
No, we'll never run out of content. Oh my gosh. No, we will die before
we'll be on our deathbed. Did you see the newest episode that came out?
Yeah.
Episode 10. It really picks up after episode 5045.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Still kicking it. Kicking longer than me.
It's gonna get to a point where you actually have to just like cut off. Like if we get to the thousands, it's gonna be like, all right, but like multiple, it'd be like you at 54, which is like 5,400. I'm at 61 right now.
Yeah.
Making my way to good old 70. It's where it's gonna end off.
And then part of my will is gonna be just passing down the One Piece podcast over to my kids.
You're gonna have
carry on the freaking legacy and stuff.
The actual physical collection.
I know exactly what animation Heisei is talking about.
Kills it. Interesting.
Do you know which one he's talking about, Nate?
I don't.
But last One Piece fact before we wrap it up. Did you know that Luffy has spent more time with Rayleigh than he has with his entire crew?
That makes sense, though.
Luffy spent about 5-6 months with the crew, and he spent 2 years with Rayleigh in the time skip training.
Is that time accurate? Like if they... Oh, wow. They've only spent 5 months together in,
like
in
5 to 6
lore
months
time?
Before the time skip, it was like 4, 5, 6 months.
Wow.
Which, and when you put it into that perspective, it like the fact that they all, you know, still met up after so much time has passed, and then you know stay motivated like that.
I don't believe the writers. I don't think the writers understand how long traveling by sea takes.
Got a good point there.
Do you think the writers actually thought about that? They're like, they spent 5 weeks on this island.
Don't make fun of Oda.
He's just worrying about the arcs, right? But he's not necessarily focusing on the time of the journey.
You kidding me?
Well, if you think about it, in the world of One Piece, the islands aren't that far apart from each other.
Okay.
If you look at the map,
fair.
the Grand Line is a very thin strip out of the entire atlas.
Yeah.
So I could see it maybe taking like a week to get to another island. And they're only on that island for like a couple days.
Only 4 months.
Dressrosa happened in less than 24 hours. The entire arc of Dressrosa was less than 24 hours. Whole Cake Island was like 3-4 days.
I don't believe you.
Look it up.
Wrong.
I don't believe me.
Wrong.
It's not.
Wrong.
You are wrong.
You're a non-canon.
I'll go
Fuck
right
you.
now. Writers are wrong. I'm the only one right. I know how the show happened.
Yeah, I mean, Nate's simply just saying that, you know, just underestimated sea travel and stuff, right?
Yeah,
and also, I mean, not everybody is equipped to go ahead and travel by sea, but also, I mean, you would imagine people are gonna get stuck over in certain islands.
Coup de burst.
But here's the thing, though, is that if they were to go ahead and I get it, they're traveling all together over as a team, right? So it gives them the benefit of the doubt of being able to get to an island, deal with whatever, you know, arc villain they have to deal with, and move on to the next, right? Not everybody has that luxury, but I guess for the Straw Hats, maybe it does line up that way. But I'm like, okay, if we're doing 2 years, right? Like, who's to say one of them's not gonna be like, oh well, shit. I mean, I could just go spend 5 days on travel just to get to where Luffy is.
Yeah.
You know, and then just kind of.
I think maybe.
Well, the thing is, they don't know where each other are.
Maybe if they were doing 5 months.
Kuma sent them all over the world.
If it was 5 months of as quick travel as they possibly could, like, okay, now we're immediately doing this, nothing else, no downtime, maybe. But I think realistically, they have been together for a long time, and I think the bonds are that way too.
Just look at the One Piece timeline, bro.
I'm just saying, it doesn't feel like they've only hung around for 4 or 5 months.
It doesn't feel.
You said a name, Kuma, right?
Yeah.
That's one that kind of affected me a little bit. When he essentially gave up his life to become this, you know, weapon.
Oh, a pacifista?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, fuck, that sucks, you know, because you realize that he did the things to kind of protect certain people.
Yeah.
So.
Read the manga, watch the anime.
No.
Well, there you go. So Heise says after My Hero, after Berserk, then it's Vinland Saga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll get there.
Yes.
You'll get there
Perfect.
next year.
Yes.
All right.
I have no enemies, I say. I have no enemies, except for Flock.
This is the perfect song to close on. And thank you all so much again. Thank you for whoever's
coming,
watching
Nate.
us.
Appreciate all the way from Tejas.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys have fun over in Vegas. I'll miss you guys. We'll be streaming on Sunday, and I know you guys will not be here.
Yep.
It was fun having you, Nate. Come back hopefully soon.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for sure.
Words of wisdom.
You
I
can
do
pick
wanna
your
say-
friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
Good, yeah.
good one.
That's a
I
good
agree.
one. I like that. All right, guys. We love you guys so much. We'll go and we'll see you guys next stream on Sunday. Stay tuned. Alrighty, this was fun.